Okay. Redline 6, welcome to it. It is a lovely Saturday morning with Arma Finland here, and we're about to defend against a whole lot, roughly double our number, in Russians. Hopefully we're going to be defending uphill, that is, they have to attack us. So, fingers crossed things will go well, but no promises. I'm playing with Face Punch Armor this time, and I'm looking forward to this.
Hang on, I'm just going to set up some things.
Radio check.
Okay, you can hear me, right? Okay, gentlemen.
There he goes.
Radios.
They are preset. They're all good to go. You can change the volume if you want.
Yeah.
If you want team nets, you'll have to manage that yourself, but I don't recommend it.
Hang on. Settings.
Do you want me in a particular color, Lanky?
Just give me a second. I'm sorting some things out.
Okie dokie. We do need to get rolling as soon as possible.
Yes.
Whale?
Yes.
How do I do the view distance thing?
F1, F2, F3, F4 is volume. Hey Geek, how you doing? And yeah, Andrew, that's how numbers work. We had Redline 5, and now we have Redline 6.
I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Okay.
One might call it a 10-based numeral system.
Okay, here we are.
Okay, there we go. Turned off.
Right. Right. Good. I'm just gonna set my radios up.
They should be preset, Whale already told you.
Alright.
Taunus, wow. When was the last time I got to play a map on an op on XCAM
Hearing any
Taunus?
transmissions over that?
Man, Thanos is a bad map.
It
doesn't use the modern engine stuff.
Fair enough. It's quite old and it's quite over detailed, but my frames are fine. I got 45.
You have to turn your view distance down.
I got mine at 43%.
How do you rate it or increase it?
F1 and F2.
Oh yeah, if you guys are new to
Right,
Task Force as well, Control P opens your radio on this one.
Radio check. Good check.
Lanky didn't express a color team preference, so yeah, Saucy,
You pick
Camo,
yellow.
Vulcan, change your color to yellow.
Alright, that means the other team will go green, I guess.
Lanky, would you mind it if you were base color or white and I can change my color to yellow so yellow knows who to follow? Sorry, so I could change my color to red so yellow knows who to follow. At a glance.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, yellow's following red.
We free to harvest supplies from the ammo boxes over yonder.
Theoretically.
Probably.
We need to get out of here. We need to
Give me
move
a
on.
second.
Don't forget, set your LR if you have one to the
Yep.
AlphaNet.
Ain't it already on
I
that?
know you guys.
Oh, there's Exhibit.
I don't know. Really.
I hope so. Good check.
Oh, wait, please, not again.
Okay, cool. I've got my
DUI is
radio
really
set.
faint. That's odd. Is this a server
I'm not
setting
gonna
they
bug
have?
them
And if so,
this
can I
week,
fix
they're
it?
Swedish. I'm
Name
kind of
tags?
terrified.
Sounds about right.
We should get a move on.
Yeah. Get mounted in this truck here.
Oh, I should just stay here, man.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you need to get really close to see name tags. Okay,
You can
fair
knock,
enough.
cool.
Get in your short range.
What is that?
On the fucking truck.
No.
Okay, Lanky's driving.
Stop.
Get in.
I'm scared.
Get in.
Enemies.
Get in the Vic ASAP and know that the knock carries for 100 meters, so
Guy
people
tag?
are looking at us now.
What's up?
We to move now?
Yeah, you're free.
Cool.
Guys, please stop.
Fuck's sake, you know.
You want to hear a knock?
Are we all in?
Someone just navigate for me for
There's
a
your
second.
knock.
Shouldn't we go to Port Coco so that's like direct east?
Warning, Lanky cannot drive. Thank you
I don't
for the
even know where
advice,
we are.
Dewako. I hope he figures it out. We're at the junction. We're at the junction. Lanky, you passed the junction.
You just passed. the
Oh,
junction
right.
already.
Point Coco is
I
right to
believe
our
you're
left.
wrong.
You're correct.
You almost just killed us all by crossing the green line.
What a fail.
I don't think it's instant death.
Yeah,
Just
it's
delayed death.
I think we're good hands.
The epic fail.
Alright, you know what, Dewako, I believe you now.
Right.
I drive my entire squad into the death zone.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Point Coco is just...
Lanky is sus.
Lanky, Dewako is telling me to tell you to gamble, and then you'll understand
What'd
what
you
he
say,
means by
Whale?
that. Dewako
what'd you
says
say,
gamble.
Whale?
You should start gambling.
You look really old, Camo.
Oh.
Yeah. Find the closest casino.
What you gambling on, buddy?
Point Coco is somewhere deeper in here.
Point Coco is about 125 meters west of the main road. I can find it for you if you like.
Yeah, please do.
Someone just deleted Point Coco.
I think I just
Okay, I need
Point
you to
Coco.
put this truck somewhere safe, Lanky, that can't be seen from the road east, and that's pointed west and ready to roll away from here.
Yep.
I put a personal marker on it and I wanted to get rid of it. Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
This is west. We are here. Okay, yeah, I've got my bearings.
You should probably park the truck behind the forest.
We are
inside.
just north of the B1 mark right now. You're following the clearing in the forest past our spawn.
Yep.
We
I'm
are
just
southwest of
moving it
R5. Sure. There is a dip in the train here.
Coco. Again, you should see it.
back. Down wheel.
Okay, now we're west of R5.
This is Field Truman. Right. Right,
We need to get out of this truck and get to where we need to start, and I'm being more
there's a
insistent
vehicle
because
stash.
we need to absolutely do that right
further
now,
up
Lanky.
ahead.
Don't forget.
What'd you
someone
say?
needs to take a dragon.
You need to get out of this vehicle right now and start taking the squad to where they need to be. We need to have our guns up by the time safe start is over.
No, actually, you're not. You're not. Yeah, you're taking an M60.
Disembark.
I say again, Vulcan, you're taking a dragon. It's in the truck. It's in the truck.
Start digging. Got trenching tools.
Lanky is leading us out to where we need to be. Please don't start digging yet, boys. Follow me and him.
Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
If we're wanted at Point Coco, you're going to want to go bearing 130 for about 75 meters. Okay, we're now south of R5. Right here. We want to go this way for maybe 100 more paces, or less. Ah.
Alright, Vulcan and Cersei, you guys built the, or you guys formed the dragon team. I want you guys to stay together.
Okay, Lanky, I believe we're around Point Coco, though we can't see out of the tree line east. It's quite dense. If you want to alert Platoon to that, he might move us. Yellow, you lot can just fan out to the sides and start watching southeast. Things are gonna get rolling soon.
Trench, do you want me to move the truck back?
If you aren't digging yourself a trench right now, you probably should.
Right, so this is our defensive position.
Yo, someone help me dig a big trench.
Not all of us have tools. I can't help.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay, apologies for being AFK for that much. Right.
Yellow, we're gonna
We
scooch up
need
to...
a dragon team to move to point R3. Oh shit.
I don't see an R3 on the map.
It's because it's far out.
Okie dokie, who's the dragon team?
I assigned dragon team to Vulcan and Cersei.
Okay, Vulcan and Saucy, you're needed at R3. That's southeast of here until you get to a small intersection and then follow the trail. East-southeast. Until the next intersection.
Alright.
You have contact coming in east and you might meet them. You're a little late to the party, so I would get running right now.
other guys, let's move up a little bit further south.
Yellow, sorry about your trenches, we can always fall back to this, but let's get at least on the peak here, facing southeast, so we can see to the edge of the tree line. And by yellow, I just mean camo. Vulcan and Saucy, get out of here.
Oh, that's it.
Hello, camo. Yeah, we're gonna set up your auto rifle facing the edge of the tree line here. Lanky's moving us up more like to point drag 2. We'll be there in a sec.
User in your channel timed out.
Oh, Taunus. Yeah, that view distance really does kill me. Hey, Kingu, welcome. Welcome, welcome. This will be a very big TVT operation today. There's at least 120 people here. And the attackers, as always, have a roughly 2-1 advantage on us, the defenders. However, we have plenty of respawns, lots of space to fall back, and if we inflict enough casualties upon the attackers, they will lose.
If you have a trenching tool, make sure to not build trenches on the ridgeline itself, because it makes us an obvious target and gives our position away.
Lank, you just heard a discharge southeast. If you want us here at the edge of the tree line, just make sure you let the platoon leader know.
Hello, Whale.
Hi, Skytech. Did
you call me Skytech?
Yeah, I always call you Skytech. Sorry, Skater.
That's amazing.
I also always call Skater. Yeah. Fuck. My squad Alpha 1 is right around you.
Don't have any boomsticks. Don't have any AP at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, TVT. Player versus player, team versus team.
User in your channel timed out.
There are no AI in this operation today. Just people. People attacking me. People on my team. People that want to kill me. On both sides. Skater Boy here. The platoon lead is from TMTM.
Team lead, this is Dragon Team. Confirm that we are to cross the green line.
Safe start is over. You can cross the green line. Yes, I think platoon ordered this.
Very scared. Copy.
Hesitant there. I'm not sure if we're ever supposed to cross the green line, but I think it's also just safe start related.
Have shovels?
Please be advised, I got disconnected. I reconnected now. I'll come in with a vehicle or something.
They are on the right net, right? Check Alpha 1 net. Check Alpha 1 net.
I can hear you.
What's up?
Alright, thank you.
Sorry.
Alright, stop blomming up. Spread out. Spread out.
Here's my boy Camo.
Thank you.
Radio settings. SR radio. Alpha 3. And then I think we'll go to change.
Fuck you, Goober.
Fuck you, Will.
Oh, wow, thanks.
By the way, just a quick heads up for you, Saucy and Bolton. If they decide to dismount before you can properly engage their mounts with AT,
Camo, we're up
and they
against
start approaching you on foot,
quite a
you should
few
probably,
enemy Russian armored vehicles, so we're going to try and get some use out of that 7.62 on your hands. But on the off chance that we start taking withering fire, I want to make sure you don't push up across the street to that guardrail and start shooting down, because if you do, you'll die.
Kill a vehicle
yeah.
There's a very
get out of there.
likely possibility that we will simply have to fall back upon taking fire if they find us first. And they will, because our position is quite evident. I don't think it's extremely sneaky that we're at the edge of the tree line facing the big field. So if and when they do suppress us, we're going to be falling back to the truck right away. Or almost right away, depending on what Lanky wants.
Should we be guarding this intersection, or should we stay in it?
Ohio says, also played a TVT Red Bear. May have heard about it. I think I did. I don't think I was a part of it, though. Good to have you in the chat.
Get some good free cover around you. You need to watch for any contacts that pass through that intersection. Don't stay on top of it, otherwise your retreat's going to be cut off. Stay, like, further west.
They're taking a while. These attackers are taking their sweet time. Our Dragon team should be now stationed at point R3 in ambush.
Can I assign my colors red as well, because I'm a team leader?
Go ahead, Lenny.
Alright, I
I see you, Crook. You see those?
It does defeat the purpose if Lenny is red. I think Lenny would want to be blue, so the green team knows to follow blue and not red.
Over there and see if it looks a lot better to the east, because it seems he wants to cover that field.
And then, you know, if he wants to be distinguished from Lanky, Lanky will have to take my recommendation and go back to Team White. But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I have no idea.
Okay, did you hear that shot? That sounded like it came from front.
No more shots. Only single shots.
Saucy Vulcan, you heard that shot as well, right?
Say again?
You heard that shot as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Is
sounded
that
like it came
anything
from
to
there,
do with
'cause when
you?
I was looking
Nope.
right, I heard in my left ear.
What direction in relation to you did that shot come from, Saucy?
I want to say south-southeast.
Alright, thank you. Assumed enemy contact somewhere
Yo,
around
what's up?
compound bearing Red Grid reference 1220004.
Stay here too long. If they start rolling up BMP, eyes on enemy contact straight south in the open.
Oh shit. Hold up.
Around 200 meters.
Oh, fuck.
Infantry. Okay, multiple enemy contacts straight south, 300. A-firm, only infantry, moving left to right, so west to east.
We have contact.
Did he say how far? He said south.
Southeast of Arch.
South, 300 meters in the wood
I
line.
can see them.
Entire squad, I got good visual.
MG team, start getting your guns.
Hey, Camo, if you can come
your
here
MGs
exactly where I'm
facing
standing and
south.
face bearing 162, you might find some heads moving around in there.
You have a trench position set.
Alright, just try to get your gun facing south.
Can you see them from here, Cooper?
You wouldn't happen to have an entrenching tool, would you, Camo?
No.
They're
Okay.
moving away from us. They're gonna be south of CR2 when they come out of the forest.
Yeah, it's scared. I don't have eyes in here.
Hmm.
Baron,
Oh, that must have been a bit of a brown tent.
positive ID on enemy BRDM south of us.
Oh, seen smokes?
This is Dragon Team. We hear vehicles immediately east of our location.
We got a huge smoke plume southeast, right across the field, 150 meters.
Stay off the road. Stay by bushes or cover. We've got a
We've got
BRDM.
smoke in the field. They're gonna be pushing in the open field, southeast of us.
Dragon
Everybody get
team, do
ready.
you see anything?
Yep.
We have multiple audio sources, vehicles. We have one BMP close,
Southeast past the road.
2 BMPs.
They're getting a vehicle rolling up on us. They have an enemy armored vehicle east of us.
Get back over the road.
Alright, here.
They're suppressing the forest right now.
Stay low.
Yeah, they are.
Red team, start covering to the
They hit a
south.
tree next to us, the shrapnel's gonna kill us, so just keep your head down, Camo, and I'll keep mine up. If I see anything, I'll let you know. Getting real close on the left here. They're gonna enter the forest soon, northeast of us.
Stay
Dragon team, you good?
We pushed out our AT to probe, but we didn't tell the AT to fall back when they met
Saucy,
contact.
Vulcan. What's the
Contact
status?
rolled right by them, and now we don't have any AT. All we have is 7.6. And I don't know if that can pen all these, if they have BTRs or BMPs. We're in Trouble. Because it's sure as hell not just BRDMs.
RT, everyone down.
Lanky, are we falling back?
Back. Move northwest.
Alright, follow me. Quick.
I believe Lanky is down. He should almost be just
If Lanky's down, carry him once he's stable, northwest, back to the truck.
I'm getting pretty fucked up right now. Just move back to the truck.
That is a lot of HE frag. Holy shit, fuck.
I've lost a lot of blood. I might pass out.
We do have respawns. If you feel that you're guaranteed to die, then lay an ambush for the enemy and inflict maximum casualties. Otherwise, please pull back along the edge of the tree line northwest, back to our truck. It will be leaving in about a minute. I'm not waiting long. If I can find it, that is, Camo. Should be over here. Oh, they're in. Those motherfuckers entered the forest on the north side. Camo? Camo, get your machine gun out, lower it, and follow me. It's best for stamina that way.
Guys, I don't know if you're fucking alive.
Yellow team is just fine. As for the dragon team, either they're assumed dead, but Saucy, if you are out there, by all means, flank and ambush the enemy with those M47s you got.
Me and Slee are currently on our way to the truck, but I'm out of stamina. I don't know about Slee.
Okay, gamer tip, make sure your weapons are lowered when you're walking around like this. It affects stamina heavily. Ohio, appreciate the follow on Twitch. Okay, we're at the... This is the clearing's edge. We should be able to scooch further west here and we'll find the truck. Seems a little further than I remember though. But no, this is the clearing. I see trees collapsing. I hope nobody's taking the truck early. Tree just collapsed next to the truck. Is somebody revving it up? Hey, Sheepay! Likewise, thank you for the follow. A Lanky is assumed dead. I'm gonna get a check-in down the line. If you are currently out of contact and you can, please say your name. Whale?
Lenny.
Slee. Minor.
Okay, Alpha 1 assumed 4 strong. Enemy contact is northeast. Break across the way. Enemy contact is suppressing our truck. Avoid it. Keep walking. Northwest. I will meet you at rally point 1. Stay in the forest and keep walking.
Be advised, last visual on Lanky himself, I saw him just on the tree line get hit by Artie.
Hey firm, Camo, where did you wander off to?
I'm behind.
Okie dokie, catch up. Again, we are marching a little more west to stay away from the truck. The enemy's found it.
Sorry, I spawned the truck.
Our number one priority is getting back to the second defensive line, falling back so we can establish something and repel the enemy. If you keep marching northwest in the forest, you eventually come to ASR Matilda. If you move west to CR4 and Rally Point 1, we will meet there. However, we will have close enemy contact east.
Oh, someone.
Camo, do you know where you're going based off of that?
Yeah.
And I will meet you there. I see you too. Let's go.
I got Camo with me.
Okay, we got a few lads here. I have a smoke plume billowing out northeast. Cross the road quick. Cross this trail quick. Wait a minute, we came across a clearing, but I don't see a trail. Am I missing something? Are we not there quite yet? Okay, I don't think we have time to make it to the trail. Find me, come to me, set up, face east, get ready to engage contact. They will be in front of us momentarily, that is east. I need to get on long range and report this up. So everyone that's with me, entrench, face east, and if you see something move, IFF before you shoot. Very likely it's enemy, however. Also, please get on whisper and don't be afraid to weigh on the radio.
Damn it, how do I set TFAR whisper again?
TFAR is control tab for voice volume levels. Fucking alternate. Signal. There we go, okay. check. AlphaNet.
To your east.
Good check.
Okay.
Say again, Wales. Good check.
Tree lines.
Yeah, sorry, I'm finagling task force. Alpha 1 remnants are near Rally Point 1, southeast of it, taking contact to our east. There are 4 of us. Over.
Engaging into the tree line.
Paper, we copy.
If the enemy looks to be passing us without issue, let me know. Otherwise, continue engaging east and don't die. Good luck. Find us better cover. Need to find us better position to engage from, and I need to find us that goddamn road.
Alright, I'm gonna issue the order now. We have to fall back. We're too far in. The enemies have pushed too far. Fall back to Rally Point 1, see if you can't regroup. Grab the truck, let's hightail it out.
Alpha 1 remnants copy, our truck is gone. We will be at Rally Point 1 in a few minutes.
Affirm, Alpha
I need a
2
pair of
and
eyeballs
3,
south.
if you
So there's
can,
someone passing
please
close
start
to
going
us.
back to
It
Rally
is friendly.
Point 1 and hightailing it out again. We're going to our phase 2 points.
Alpha 3 copies.
Handheld launcher just fired at something.
Alpha 1, smoke east, we're going to ignore it. We have to retreat. We're going back all the way to Rally Point 1, which is, I think, 100 meters further northwest. Let's go.
Guys, I'm moving.
Can of smoke landed real close to us. If that's us, please let me know.
I just said I deployed smoke east.
Affirm.
Affirmative, thank you. Is that a fucking jet? That was a frog foot.
Yeah,
Frog foot just flew overhead westwards from Alpha 1. More shots northeast.
Alpha 10, I copy.
Alpha 10-1, they are pushing into Field Kennedy. Over.
Affirm.
Where's this road? There's the road. Okay. Set up, face down the road eastwards. We're hanging out here.
It's not going to be a pretty way
Expect
of doing
contact
this, but I don't
immediately
think
there down the
we can
road,
organize
eastwards.
retreat. Fall back to phase 2 points as soon as possible.
This is Alpha 3, we've been flanked by enemy infantry. We're gonna try to put up a fight.
Contact on the road.
Affirm, Godspeed. Take as many of them as you can.
They engage.
Enemy friendly.
Verify first, but I saw uniforms that suggest enemy, and they just passed the road.
Yep, that's enemy. I saw an AK. I saw with binos. Suppress them if you can, Camo. You got
I
a
do
big
not know
gun.
where they went. There they are, behind the tree.
Shoot into the tree line.
Rally Point 1 has enemy contact 100 meters east, 1 squad. We're engaging. Close contact with enemy. Make sure you're whisper. They will flank in from the east. Be ready for a flank from the east.
Affirm.
Expect hand frags. They're tossing in their hand frags. Get ready. East. Frag in.
Camo's down with the frag. Throwing a nade direct east. I don't know where you are, Whale. Are you about where Slee is?
Don't worry about me. Keep yourself alive. Enemy is pushing in east. They will hand frag. Have cover and then kill them.
Might want to say fuck the RP and pull back.
Frag out east.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you need to screw the RP now. We have to pull back.
When the smoke clears, they're gonna clear me.
Smoke right on us.
Hopefully they don't pass out. That first guy I didn't kill, but that second guy I think I killed with burst fire. This tourniquet might keep me alive. I'm not sure if I can get this bandage on in time. I just want to kill one more Russian.
Go for Alpha 10.
Majority of can I get a response?
On,
I can't talk. We're in CQC. Shoot.
How is
That's what you need to do right now.
Wait
Shoot.
for a ride from logistics.
Okay.
You're gonna have to wait for a ride from logistics. I'll let them know that you respawn. You're probably gonna be dropped off at our base. Phase 1 positions are determined.
Say again, what's the situation on the basic position? Alpha 10, say again, are we abandoning our dragons?
Affirm.
Second question, there are trucks here at spawn. Should we take them to get to our second phase?
No, wait for logistics.
Alright, somebody finally got me. There's one right behind me. I wanted to get that first one, but I couldn't shoot in time, and if I did, the tree guy would have killed me. So I think I bagged a total of 2 Russians, and now we restart. I'll get back on net. Okay, Alpha 1, I'm assumed full dead. I'm happy none of the frags landed on me. Well, majorly. I did take a lot of damage from them. But we did what we could. We did what we could.
So we'll be below. Three confirmed, so 3 confirmed and 1 injured, or 3 confirmed, 1 injured, and 2 down.
So 3 confirmed vehicles, 1 confirmed infantry for sure, and then
Hey, Noah.
4th vehicle up that got us.
Okay.
How did that all go for you?
Hold on. So that's
not great.
Not great, not great.
We were left in the Viridian past all over us. So we were just sitting there.
You weren't at R3, were you?
I think we've done a whole round.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? I think you were near Point Marine. You were near Goober, right? Goober was at Point Marine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you were at Point Marine, you took all the withering, incoming, autocannon fire like the rest of us, and you fell back. Light casualties that bogged us down. You didn't fall back.
We didn't fall back. No, we just sat there in the
You
bushes.
just sat there in the ditch until the vehicles walked past you?
Yeah.
Well, did you kill anybody?
I think so.
Okay, well then I'd call that mildly effective. It would have been nicer if you fell back,
I
though. My
guess.
team had 4 survivors that managed to fall back to Rally Point 1, but then we... The enemy's making a really good pace. They are past Field Kennedy now. Let me yell that.
Yeah.
Enemy is past Field Kennedy, if you guys are curious. They're on R9.
When you were on
This
your
is
side of
Alpha
the
1.
field over to the east, yeah, Alpha 1, you guys were in the forest there. Did you have a BMP down on your side of the field?
Oh, Alpha 1 didn't come in direct contact with any vehicles. We just heard engines. We were killing infantry. As for him, Alpha 3 right now, I don't know. No, says some vehicles past him.
Paikka laittaa ne tuliasemat, koska se mettälaita on se, mihin se Bemari ampuu. Niin sinne syvälle mettään.
But then again, I think I heard vehicle engines almost about to pass us at Rally Point 1, past ASR Matilda. They would have come in from the west, though, because we didn't see or hear any vehicles east of us. That is east of Rally Point 1.
Pakotetaan jalkautumaan passarintorta-aseiden käytöllä. Traffic stop at the center there. They've got like 3 that I can confirm from our vehicle. Fucking BMP's down, but we need. I'm trying to figure out how many of them were destroyed because I saw additional smoke trails over on the southeast side and then over on our side too.
I heard at least 2 rocket impacts around target, but I'm not sure if they disabled or whatever.
I saw 2 rockets. Our Dragon team got. I think our Dragon team and R3 just died.
But we could still get it.
Hi, Skytech.
Well, that's
Yeah, hey.
Skytech.
Yeah, we didn't mount a very strong defense there.
From this one,
As soon as the thing started, I got disconnected.
I wish I got
The internet went out. I lost everything. Lost my fucking law and all that.
Remember, Script Kid, you know Russian. Surprised you didn't show up today. You could have signed up for a slot. I guess they're competed for in Face Punch Arma. Comp says whale person. Yeah, that's me. I'm the whale person. Hello.
Hello. How did you die?
How did I die? Well, the remnants of Alpha 1, we were at Rally Point 1 defending eastwards.
I was right with you.
And I don't know how many you guys killed, but I got 2.
Yeah, I got 2 as well.
Nice. Then I feel good.
And I killed at least one more guy. I don't know. I saw him go down, but he might have been banished by his friends because he was a little farther away.
Did you get those frags out? Did you get them out of your inventory and towards the enemy?
Yep.
Awesome. You did exemplary. If I could high five you, I would. That's what you need to do.
I'm pretty sure that we had a friendly drove in with a Willys Jeep, like right through the enemy in CQC, and he killed at least one person.
What, did he get out?
No, he didn't get out. He drove over them.
I think that's okay at AFI. I know Friday Night Fights bans people for roadkill, but I think AFI doesn't mind it because it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, also, if you do it, you're gonna get shot anyway, so...
Fair enough.
To the internet 40 seconds into the start of the
oh, that's a shame, Script Kitty. Maybe next time. And yes, Arma Finland, indeed. Well, this has been fun so far, right? We had a good retreat, we made it back without dying, and once we did entrench because they were making really good pace and flanking around us, we distracted a few of them, and when they came to attack us, we killed at least 4 of them. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah, we traded.
Yeah, we need to turn that into more though, because we're defending here. We need to kill 2 times as many as we perish. So
got down. He got down by a stray grenade.
I think by the time we get everything set up again, we are maybe going to be defending from... We lost phase 1. Maybe we'll be defending phase 2.
We're probably going to be overlooking either Field Eisenhower or Field Reagan.
This is the mountain. We're defending a mountaintop right now at Neuheinen. Okay. So here's our second chance. We're going to get in there. Our logistical officer is going to push us up to where we need to be for phase 2. And as Alpha 1, that means we're going to be... Oh, we're just defending the buildings themselves. Oh, Jesus. They're going to saturate that area with autocannon fire because we didn't get the chance to kill many of their armored targets, as far as I know. I didn't hear no vehicle explosions.
I don't think we got any.
Yeah, I don't know about the call of moving our Dragon team up. Not because it wasn't a good idea, but because the Dragon team... I don't think they're here because they respawned before, but I don't think they're experienced enough to know when to fall back and when to ambush and all that. So they were kind of there autonomous and they didn't really know when to kill.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say they just got overrun with infantry. And that's
I mean they were in probably right in that position on R3, which is a intersection that the enemy's probably just gonna march right through. When we heard early gunshots and they stopped talking, I guess that was them dying.
Yep.
Isn't roadkill just vehicular melee? Yeah. Turns out Arma had a melee mod all along. Comp asks, is your field of view the default? FOV? Yeah, this is 70, I believe.
Because this one is okay-ish size, I guess. How many people are there? Like 22, 23?
This will be quick. Honestly, if those vehicles manage to blow the shit out of Neuheim, because I know Severe will do it, then Severe is going to have a happy day bouncing up and down that his plan works. Awesome. But we're going to have a bad day because those vehicles, those buildings are just going to collapse with us inside of them, and they'll roll right up the hill and kill us. Let's see. I guess our dragons will be effective plunging down from the sides of the hill, because this is, I mean, Severe said it himself. He wasn't super worried about the initial attack, but this uphill battle he's fighting now, armored vehicles or not, it's like a castle. There's like flanking hills facing onto the main road they need to follow if they want to get up the hill. So this is a really, really, really hard attack for them. Could be our second chance.
We'll see about it.
Where is he going to send his infantry? I guess up the west side is all I would do. He's probably going to flank west with the infantry because there's no other option. It's very limited options here, yeah. He's absolutely, unequivocally going to either jam his infantry right into the town mounted on the back of armored vehicles because he's overconfident about it, or he's going to flank around the west side with all of his infantry, marching up the side of the hill. More likely.
I mean, before anything, he's probably going to hit it with artillery.
Does he have artillery?
Yep, they have artillery.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Is probably also going to soften up some shit.
Were we getting saturated in the forest tree line with artillery? Because I thought those were like HE frag or something crazy.
Nope, those were artillery shells.
Fair enough.
And fucking hunkered down. Well, I mean, spread out then, but either way.
Yeah, Duwako, you just the curse. Yeah, honestly, when I get in CQC like that and platoon leads calling in my ear for like, hey, we should fall back, blah, 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 I don't even have time to respond at that point. Especially because TFAR Whisper still goes for like 5 meters, so if I talk, I'm gonna die. So I just lower my headset and I start shooting. The most I'll give you guys, when you're on my squad, you know, I respect you guys a lot. I will give you guys contact calls. If somebody's about to kill you, you know, if I can prevent you from dying, but that's it, because otherwise they will hear me and kill me. Those frags broke my legs too. I couldn't do much. I had to limp behind them and get one more guy.
I mean, the first artillery barrage made me basically clinically dead. I could not see like 5 meters in front of me because of the blur.
Hey, you can move though. Your legs were unwounded enough to catch up. That's good.
Those were good enough.
Silver linings.
I mean, yeah, once they got really close and I heard the finish, I could shoot them obviously because I could see.
Yeah, they had those green steel helmets. That's gonna be my IFF, other than the AKs. Those green steel helmets.
For me, it's probably more sound. I know the difference between an M16 and an AK.
I also didn't really see any of the friendlies retreating through field Truman. But I would see enemies sticking to the edge of the map, east. So I was relatively confident once we took contact eastwards down ASR Matilda that it was enemy. But I didn't say it right away just on the off chance that there was a friendly that wandered off. And only because our platoon was really disorganized after that initial assault. I don't want to accidentally kill anybody, lose a ticket.
We got just, what do you call it? Shot the hell out of us.
Yeah, wow. Mortar strike simultaneous to an APC attack, and our dragon, at least one of our dragons was completely out of commission and the other one missed a shot. We got fucked. We had M60Es with 7.62, but those would be good against maybe a BTR, more likely a BRDM. And I heard they had one BRDM, but usually their BRDM is their command Vic, not exactly frontline.
The first burden we spotted with the first infantry spot we had. It was in the tree line.
I think command's just being conservative for phase 3. They don't want to jump into phase 2 and have us run phase first into the advancing forces.
Where the hell is phase 2 even muster? Isn't phase 2 the last one? Isn't that the hill defense? I'm bad at reading this map right now. The phase 1 MSP and the phase 2 and final MSP, which is already deployed on the hill. Though, I don't know. I'm sure Joe will put it in the right spot, but it looks kind of exposed to have the phase 2 MSP on that respawn mark. Can't they shoot it from MSR Emma?
I don't think, I mean, be aware that Arma map trees are always lying.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And most important of all, it needs to be out of the town so the mortars don't hit it. Because the enemy artillery is going to blow it up if they know where it is.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Northern. Severe really likes explosive attacks that rout the enemy and confuse the fuck out of him, and that's what he just did, and it sure as hell worked. And his mortars still got to contribute, even though he was going fast. He just needed to plan it out ahead of time, and he did. So they don't need to, quote, go slow. They don't need to play carefully. They need to go balls to the wall, and they need their mortars to be ready to shoot ahead of time. That's all. Cutting the grass. You get anybody camo?
I think I got one, yeah.
Alright. It's deceiving sometimes because those Russians have steel plate and steel helmets. And I don't think we have that luxury. I think we have a... Wait, do we have... We do have body armor in the 80s. Right? Pass GT helmets or something like that. And then... something body armor. I don't think it's as impressive as the Russian steel plate, but it's something.
Well, that steel plate sure didn't survive the M16.
Yeah, the M16 has good penetration, but honestly, just not real life, just Arma experience. I feel like the RHS Russian 6BP whatever 23. It's pretty good. Pretty good at deflecting M16s in this game for some reason.
Alright. 10 seconds.
Oh.
Once we respawn, wait for the logistical officer to tell us where to go. Yeah, too late.
Alpha, can you give me a position where to deploy your reinforcements?
Bravo 2.
We are playing as NATO defending against Russians. Kampf.
Okay, everybody.
Get in a vehicle. Get into the truck.
I love Bravo.
Get in the truck, get in the truck, get in the truck. Alpha 1, get in the truck, get in the truck, get in the truck.
Can you give me a strap?
I gotta get back to the fucking, back to where the Bradleys are.
Is everyone in?
Copy that.
No. So, just to let you
Lanky, this is Wales.
Bravo platoon is being deployed to Tango 2 or Trouble Point 3. After that,
Lanky, Alpha 1 respawns, including myself, Kamo, Lenny, Slee, have respawned at the MSP.
As long as you're not... Yeah. Is the MSP respawned at the town?
The MSP is directly on the big blue respawn marker at Phase 2 MSP.
This is Sky. I'm actually back up, and Kilo's back up as well.
Go for Alpha. Yes, that's exactly what we're do.
Yes. Roger, okay, Whale, command the respawns to move
if you aren't already
Phase
there,
2
get
and
to
link
your
up with us on
Phase 2
RP2.
position.
I read you Phase 2. I believe the truck is already taking us there. Keep in mind, Lanky, that the logistical officer usually handles the reinserts and he's already doing so. I just wanted to let you know we'll be back soon.
Or Bravo
that'd be pretty nice.
Point 4. Can you hear me?
En route to Red Tie. They're about there. A1.
Alright, see you, Script. Have fun.
Mark, and I believe
That
A2
is
is around the black tie mark.
the black tie boys.
Good copy. That's really nice.
There's a line
I'm
like
gonna let you guys know now. You don't have to be. I think we just did a trade. We have hit the enemy forces hard. We've done it really well. They have casualties, and they are starting to lose steam.
Our platoon leader Skytech is giving us moral support and saying that we did a great job routing the enemy.
This is Bravo platoon Rob. You're currently at Tango 2.
Oopsie, sorry, we'll get back in. Alpha should get back in, correct?
Correct.
Alpha 1, make sure you get back in the truck. We got out too early. Oops.
Oh.
Alpha 1 is all loaded. Sorry about that.
Okay. Positioners that are more suitable to you.
Get out and run. Back with Bravo.
Roger, keep away from the Bradleys via line black tie. Take contact.
Shit. Turns out that road, MSRMA, is fully visible for like 3 clicks, so it happens. Jesus. Is everybody still here? You, me, Dupree,
Slee.
Lenny is burning to death.
Slee.
Where's Slee?
I'm not burning to death. I'm good.
Who's this
He
then?
died. He gave up.
That's Fire Axe. Shit, that's one of the Logi
He was the
officers.
driver.
Stay off that road, they're watching it.
Pretty sure that was a cast strike.
Okay, well I don't know where Slee is, but we need to start walking our way back to Phase 2 then. Where the fuck is Alpha 1 Phase 2
here, we need to move down to the southeast.
Oh Jesus.
fuck.
Oh fuck.
We're going this way, Halbrad.
I think we might have to give up on Slee. I just saw him.
We gotta head to the east southeast.
Conf, Skytech, I think, plays Friday Night Fight from time to time.
The Logi truck got blown up.
Is he the only casualty?
Only casualty, yep.
No, there's 2. One of them was Logi officer. He burned to death. Okay, so we are on T2 mark, the terrain reference point on MSRMA. Where do we need to go to rendezvous with Alpha 1? I'm gonna ask. I'll just ask Lanky.
Yeah, it's,
Lanky, what's your 20? We're coming to you.
RP2.
Rally point 2. Okay, let's walk southwest.
Actually, right on top of it.
We're walking from point T2 to rally point 2. We'll be there in a few minutes. Over.
Oh, Bradley.
Yep. I'm surprised that Logi truck didn't go way sooner.
Yeah, I'm just now realizing that dicking around on that road was a bad idea, considering how far it goes in full sight line of the enemy.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, thankfully it was only 2 guys that died, and it was just a truck we lost. No big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even more surprised that the Su-25 even saw it so easily.
Oh yeah, they do have a fucking fast mover. Yeah, that frogfoot we saw earlier.
That is the exact thing that took it out, I'm 100% sure. Nothing else can, well,
Well, to be fair, they do have, you know, BTRs and autocannons and stuff, but to me it sounded like a bomb or mortar, and the mortars aren't going to react that quick, so...
It was rockets, 100%, because
rockets.
the MP2 cannon doesn't leave huge craters.
Noticing Frogfoot strafing over rally point 2. You guys okay, Lanky?
We good. We have smoke northeast of our position at RP2.
Something is burning.
We're walking towards that huge white smoke plume. Looks like a Bradley got hit. What's this road? ASR Helga? So we need to go south from here. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna follow ASR Helga to the bend, and then we're gonna go direct south.
We can use the bushes between.
Wait, did you say you're going on top of ASR Helga?
Smoke.
Yes, we're walking near ASL Helga.
Move south of Helga and get into the forest as fast as possible. The RP2 clearing is a pretty obvious location. I don't want you on the open field because there's smoke and I'm expecting an attack.
Do you expect enemy contact close to RP2? Infantry specifically? Infantry?
Stand by. Yes, well, my suspicions are confirmed. Apparently there's an RPG team nearby RP2.
Hey, Firm, do you want us to cut in front of RP2 and cut them off from their east? Because we're approaching CR7.
Move southeast of RP2 and just, like, get nearby ASR Olga, but don't cross it. Stay behind bushes and ditches and sniff them out.
Okay, we're going to need to cross ASR Olga to get on that side of it. We're currently with Bravo 1 at their Phase 2 position. We can move west to rendezvous with them at Rally Point 2 and cross ASR Olga. We might have contact on our left. Let's do so. Waiting for camo. Camo, take your stamina break. Make sure you're on normal talking volume or whisper. And we'll be moving shortly.
Okay, never mind, Whale. Bravo apparently misidentified. There is no contact at RP2.
Where do you want us? We are at Bravo 1 mark.
Stand by.
That's the foot. Right? I guess it could be an APC.
The bullets looked like they came from a lot lower than the floor.
Yeah, and the audio sounded like it too. Probably one of their IFVs.
I've marked on the map, south of your position, a yellow tie observe marker. To get there, I want you to move to your northwest, past the CR7, then take the road to your left, move down that road, and get into the forest and observe that corner.
Where? You want us to observe R6? I can do that for you, but keep in mind, when you make a mark on the map, I can't see it. So we will move down ASR Olga to get eyes on R6.
Roger.
Okay, on me.
Let me rephrase that. North, there is a bend on ASR Olga, and that's south of V1 and CR7. I want you to get between that bend.
No way.
Hey, Firm, that area is being saturated by IFE fire. We'll do what we can.
Roger. Just stay away from that position and overwatch ASR Ida from there.
Come with me. If we creep around on the right here, I don't think enemy IFEs are gonna see us. And I say that with a little confidence, but, you know, we'll be fine. In a cosmic sense. Get over this barbed wire and go prone for a moment. Find a bush. Look sneaky. Not an easy way to get across this. Here.
I mean, if I'm
Whale
gonna be
hears
honest, I don't think
enemy
it's
engine
worth
audio
this.
east of CR7, down the road ASR Ida, about 400 meters. Could be a BTR. Over.
Roger that, will inform.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I doubt the risk is really worth it to just try to cross this. We could just backtrack a bit.
Well, we're with
And then
Bravo
go
and we
into
need to
the
be with
forest.
Alpha. We do need to be with our squad, and they're around Rally Point
Yeah,
2,
I know,
and they need
we
our
can-
help, and I don't think an APC is going to blow us up with a 2-second reaction time if we sprint across this road. I think we'll be quite fine. And if you're so worried, well, again, we could just walk up this field another 100 meters, and they won't be able to shoot us.
Well,
what I
I'll
meant.
relay that information to platoon.
Okie dokie, I wanted to creep here so I could recon for a sec, that's all. Let's get walking then. Keep your head down.
Message relayed.
A little further, never hurt. Then we'll cross. Hey, Otz, thank you for the follow, though I could have sworn you followed like 2 days ago, so fascinating. It's me, it's Whale, in the flesh. And here we will make our cross and
Whale,
hope we don't
we
get
are
blown up.
moving southeast of RP2.
We'll be coming up behind you. Our team had to make backpedaling to make sure we didn't get blown up by IFVs. We are currently on the dot for line black tie, over.
Roger.
Can you hear that engine,
pretty sure
Lanky?
that's
You were
a-
southeast?
We hit that.
I do not think that's a Bradley.
99. That's a BMP for sure. I know that sound. 99% sure that's a BMP.
Where's our AT?
Carry, Swan, AT out.
Move back to
What was
RP2. There is BMP audio. If we get near that road, we might get fucked up pretty hard.
Lining and camo, stick with me south. We're getting to RP2.
Wait a bit, Camel. You still got stamina problems?
That's a big backpack he's got on.
And a big gun. Are you
The
out of
operation's
stamina?
going just okay, Otz. This is a big TVT.
We'll wait a bit.
It is Cold War, Redline. Yeah, we'll let him take a stamina break. And I'm currently rendezvousing with my team after a very unsightly death. We were holding this first defensive line against maybe 80 enemy players. We got pushed back off of Point Coco by a withering autocannon fire and coordinated artillery. And as the survivors, maybe 4 or 5 of us fell back. We got to Rally Point 1. We engaged contact east, flanking along the east side of the AO. We killed a few of them at least, but then we died. And on our reinsert truck croaked near T2, TRP. It got blown up by an enemy jet. But we survived, so we limped our way over here, and we're about to rendezvous with our squad. Alright, let's go.
Boys, regroup on me. Stay low, stay slow.
You guys at Rally Point 2?
Yeah, we're just shy south of it.
We'll come to you.
We'll wait.
Damn. Otz is a real fan. True fan. Where are they?
Yeah, just respawned.
I have eyes on you, Whale. To your south-southwest.
Howdy. Here we are. I have myself, I have my auto rifle, and I have Lenny.
Holy shit, after so long.
Is Vulcan and Saucy here?
Yep.
Hello.
Move out.
Stay low. Moving
Do we have our
south.
dragon back?
Sorry, not
No,
south,
we didn't pick one up.
Along yellow tide.
Fair enough. We're following Lanky, let's go yellow. We're getting real close to the map set, just be mindful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arma is pretty cool. Honestly? I feel like oh, opinions later.
Yep.
Contact front.
In the bushes. Let's stay in the bushes.
Who would that be engaged in front of us?
Gentlemen, south of R7, there is a platoon-sized element. We need to get off of ASR Olga and reposition on fucking RP2.
We've been spotted.
Back up, move northwest.
Fall back.
Stop the bandage real quick.
Do you need help? No, you're good.
Who's injured?
Where are we meeting, Lanky?
We've got a pretty good position on top of RP2. If we hold here, we can catch them off guard with our trenches. They are just spraying into us.
There is only one trench.
Here comes a BMP east. CCO just fucking died? What happened, Napalm? They did have a lot of AI in the server, I presume. Shit, if it died like a third through, didn't it? They didn't just start.
Spread out, get inside bushes, conceal your silhouette.
Use cover. Please find a tree because that BMP is gonna get real mad real soon. As soon as the infantry next to it knocks on it, dink donk, and lets them know we're here. Ooh. Yes, Bradley. Yes, Bradley, please. Take care of business.
Eyes on enemy infantry bearing 110.
Distance?
Distance about 400 meters.
Can you see the road? Southeast? Because I'm going to keep eyes on the road from about 150 back.
Yeah, they're behind the road. Double check if they're really enemies, though I'm not 100% sure.
a 90% sure if they're across that road or enemy, but I don't know. For sure. Because there's a firefight going over there now. Corporal Hardcore says CCO is over? Oh, they gave up? Oh, that double sucks. That double sucks. Lanky, what's your exact location? I think I'm a little bit ahead of you.
I'm basically on
Disregard,
top of
I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Eyes on enemy, eyes on enemy. Bearing 120, range 300, just behind the road.
Roger, does he see you?
I think those shots south are outside of the AO. But then again, maybe I'm outside of the AO. We're coming real close here. I think that sharp dip is where the AO ends. People aren't allowed to be outside of it.
Confirmed, there are enemies now crossing ASR Olga. We are expecting contact. Oh fuck, contact!
Where from? South?
Bearing
Southeast.
110, I saw infantry movement.
I don't know what this fire exchange is in front of us. Just had a tracer come in, direct south. 170, 170. I know that's out of the AO, but be careful. It might be skirting the rules a little bit.
BMP moving towards our position from northeast.
By the roads or on the forest?
Real close, I hear it east.
Oh, I see a lot of infantry. Bearing 70. They don't see us. Get down, retreat north.
We should advance and
Sorry,
engage.
don't retreat north, retreat west. That's a fucking lot of them.
Yeah, and we got a lot of fucking bullets. Come on, Lanky. Lanky, we're engaged. Not my fault. Somebody started shooting.
The grenade just landed nearby. Is everybody okay?
BMP, bearing 60, 150 meters. Enemy BMP. Who just shot me? Who just shot me? I'm glad you had a little bit of fun during the CCO. Sorry to hear it ended early.
Fucking take this. We need to move west.
Well, you up?
I'm engaged with the enemy. Good luck. Get light contact south too. Edge of the AO, careful. Ooh, he found my foot. I should have stayed in a bush and just waited it out a little bit. Yeah, no, I know Otz. Northern, I know Otz from a group of friends, and Otz is more than welcome to come play with us on Saturdays. Technically, right now would be the time, though I'm at a different operation today. When we hold those little Zeus ops called Hideout. It's pretty fun. There's a tiny, slim chance I wake back up from this, so I'm not going to respawn quite yet. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get back up. We did get surrounded. There was enemies. We were at the bleeding edge of the AO, but they went a little outside of it and just said fuck it. Hey, kitty cat. Come on. Yeah. I just heard, I think somebody, I don't know if that was squad lead, but Lanky said like, fuck. If he's saying things and I can hear him when I'm dead, that means he's talking on normal voice and he's gonna get his ass clapped. Gonna get his cheeks smacked. Okay, first engagement went okay for me.
Hello, Lanky.
Second engagement not so well. And now we have a 5-minute respawn.
Oh Christ.
They did exactly what I thought they'd do. Rally point 2, they push.
Gunfire, BMPs, AKs, we basically got surrounded.
Ghost is alive.
So I'm guessing RP2 is lost?
Yep. Oh, completely.
Maybe we could have gone closer to the edge of the map.
Next to you.
But just force in general are really hard to defend.
I'm just frustrated, that's all.
Force in general, easy to inflict casualties upon the enemy if you play it right. It's just hard to keep ground. We could have let them pass us and shoot them in the back, or we could have engaged at our own volition, but we had a retreat call at when they were already parallel with us, and once people started walking backwards in plain sight of the enemy, they just got shot to death, I presume.
Yeah.
I hate forests.
They probably will. Their BMPs have been extremely effective, while our Bradleys have
suboptimal.
No offense, but they haven't been the best.
I'm not sure.
Meidän vaunu rämmättiin PRDM:lle.
A lot of CCO talk, mass disconnects, server issues with no AI spawned.
It's pretty bad.
Blue 4 calling out that a leopard has shot down a low-flying heli. That sounds fun.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't think anyone did the command yet. Oops.
Did you bring one of them down with you?
Yeah, hideout. Anyone with a good attitude, welcome to come on by. As far as teaching you, however, if you're brand new to Arma, I highly recommend, you go check out a public server with no mods. For example, King of the Hill is a game mode a lot of people play. It's more gamey, you know, it's not like a simulated unit operation kind of thing. It's just, you know, capture the hill. However, you will learn the basic controls, and that's handy. Once you have learned the basic controls, you can come on by to hideout, or any other number of units, really, that accept public players. And that's where you can learn mods like ACE, the medical system, and things that aren't normally in the vanilla game, but that most units still play with anyways. We'd be more than happy to teach you. I highly recommend, if you haven't learned ACE prior, like if you don't know the medical system, it only takes a few minutes to learn, but in order to facilitate that, show up a little early and ask for help. That's all. Napalm says, how are you enjoying the new DLC? I bought it, but I haven't tried it out. The only experience I had with it, Napalm, I went into the editor, I spent 15 minutes screwing around, and that's it. Yeah.
Listen, I can't be racist. I'm hiding from
I can't believe the fucking server died for CCO.
I suppose I could believe it. I didn't expect it, but I could believe it.
It's been nice with the elves, Johnny.
There's a lot of issues that Arma in general has been having with big co-ops lately, so Coalition going back to a co-op CCO, I thought something would go wrong, but I didn't expect this server to crap out completely.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect that either. Yeah. Because I've heard the co-ops with CCOs have been fucking awesome in the past.
I don't know, I don't like co-ops as much.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I like co-ops, it's fun. Hanging with your lads, being able to shoot a bunch of dumb AI, having a good time, it's always nice for me. But the TVTs are better. I wish I had you too, Johnny. You would have been a nice have.
Hey, SkyTech.
What's up?
So what do you think, what was Alpha 2 like doing when Alpha 1 was near line red tie defending Southeast?
Alpha 2 was still around black tie as far as I'm aware. They were doing their best, but they were getting heavily pushed back.
Okay. Well, an enemy platoon, I was speculating to myself a long time ago, and I'm sure our commander expected it, that the enemies would just march in the only way they could, southwest and through those forests. I think we had an effective defense to repel them, but I don't know, we just didn't shoot straight. And we let them cross ASR Olga unopposed.
Yeah, them crossing ASR Olga have pretty much just put us on the deathbed.
Also, some of them were flanking so far south that I couldn't really get my hands on them.
Respawn?
Skytech, where are we going? Are we going to phase 3?
Double check, right?
We got it.
Alright.
Back into the breach in the forest.
Oh dear.
I don't want to
We
do
should,
that.
that would be
Give me
badass.
2 seconds, Trent. 2 seconds.
Right, Alpha and Bravo, there won't be no ride for you.
Mikäs siellä on teidän plan? Juu.
Turns out we're walking.
You need to walk.
I love walking.
Not gonna be a ride.
That's what these
get
boots are
your
made
vehicle,
for.
Just go and run.
Lenny, do you know where we're going?
And that respawn.
I'm pushing Lanky, there he is.
I'm here. I'm just looking where we fucking are.
We're on the big respawn marker.
Dr. Poop, Professor at Toilet Bowl University.
The big respawn marker.
Hang on.
Yes. The MSP2 marker on the
Here we
map,
go.
specifically
Here we go.
southwest
It's
of
just hidden
Town.
over like a bunch of markers.
I really don't want to hide inside the town and let ourselves be surrounded.
What does Platoon want us?
No, it's with us.
He wants us inside the town, but I don't want to do that.
Well, then we have to
Well,
do
Lanky, you're
what
gonna
he wants
follow
anyways.
us.
I'm sorry, Lanky.
At least we know where
We should get
where
walking.
they come from.
You are not in main base. You are
Yeah,
right next
Like
to
a
main
forest,
station.
3 centimeter.
Right, gentlemen.
Phase 2 MSP.
Northeast.
Alpha 1, off we go, north-northeast. These boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. These boots were made for walking, and they'll walk all over you. Alpha 1 is installed on the northeast corner of Newenhain. Newenhain.
What's his face?
Newenhain.
Slee?
I don't know,
no,
man.
The other guy, Saucy.
We lost them. Where to go?
Sly, where are you?
I presume he's dead.
He's probably dead.
He just didn't want to give up yet.
Losing
Someone
people
will
to PTSD.
Whoa, look at those garbage things.
Welcome to Taunus, where everything is over detailed.
Okay, hold position, gentlemen.
Hold one.
Tulee muuten ihan just ilmaiskuuta.
What do you think, Lanky? We going to our block?
Be quiet. I'm busy.
Okie dokie.
I'm commanding. Sorry, I'm platoon. Copy.
This is where I belong. I belong in the trash.
Maybe entrance west.
Okay, apparently our platoon leader wants us to move past the radar station to T1 and harass the enemy inside the forest.
Not in the forest again. The forest is AIDS.
I mean, we have as good camo as they do, if not better, for the forest. You just need to, we need to shoot straight and keep our voices down.
I hate the forest.
Hey, Johnny,
It's
what's up, man? What's up? We are in the final throes of the defense of the village of Newenhain. The Russians have mounted a very effective attack that has pushed us back to our last legs, and we're hoping we can sally out here and surprise them if we attack past the radar station and the big stash and fuck them up a little bit. Mr. Maybe, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I know you said this earlier. I don't think you really need to study, per se. People can just jump in and play Arma. You just need a few pointers on the ground by someone who's willing to lead you. It's not like EVE Online or Space Station 13. It's not that esoteric. It is much simpler than that. Even if it's more complicated than something like Battlefield because of all the... this.
Guys.
Plan has changed yet again. We are moving south-southeast over an open area to the forest about east of T5. It's an open area, so yeah.
You might want to set your volume up. Pretty quiet. Oh, okay. Down, gentlemen. Sit low.
Careful there. Keep your head down.
Possible contact, east, southeast. There are traces coming from that location. Let's get inside the forest and overwatch the valley.
Are we headed to T2?
Nope. We are going into a forest nearby MSR Emma and overwatching the valley.
We're overwatching eastwards. Okay.
That is correct. Lenny's hurt real bad.
Contact front.
Danger close. Danger close.
If you are in the back of the formation, please space out left, curl right, engage. If you're in the front, use those frags. Friendly fucking fire. Come on, man. God damn it. IFF of a goddamn eagle. I'm gonna toss a frag after listening. Fuck! I hate that FF. That was so bad. I'm about to get cleared out. I'm getting real close.
About to go down, I've lost a lot of blood.
Nah, hi, fucking frag. They knew which trio was behind. I don't think it was so much as me shooting out as me getting friendly fired in the back of the head. that one, it screwed up my vision, fine, I could deal with that, but I think it also gave away which trio was behind. That's the trouble. I'm not getting back up from this. I need to respawn quick, and I'm using a ticket, but we need to get back on the fight.
How many Russians are there?
Oh, there's a fucking squad over here.
I wish those guys the best of luck. I hope the people who took my advice, if they were on the back, they could have curled around right or left. Seems like most of the focus was right. Our instructions were to watch the valley eastwards at T6. But I don't know if our platoon lead ever bothered to get in contact with Bravo platoon and establish whether or not T2 was lost, because obviously Bravo 3 isn't there if enemies are east of ASR Helga here. If they are, they're oblivious. But more likely Bravo 3's been dead for a long time, and our platoon leader either knew that and didn't mention it to my squad lead, or didn't know it, which they really should know it, and was just oblivious in general. So we received bad orders to move to a location that was advanced upon by the enemy a long time ago. Yeah. Isley. Do you know who shot me? Like, friendly shot me in the back of the head?
I haven't been near our squad for like half an hour.
That works too. Somebody did. We just got engaged. If you're looking at the map, between, if you draw a line east from ASR Helga and south from MSR Emma Mark, the intersection is where we were. We got engaged from the front and sides, specifically the front and right side. Russians all over. It'd be squad plus. We didn't respond very well. We pushed into them and then we got surrounded. And I don't know if people on point had bad eyes, but a Russian pretty much just popped out of a tree behind us, shot 2 of us in the back of the head. And then the rest was a little bit of chaos. Not a lot of contact calls. And then confusion.
Hey.
Hello.
Which squad are you in?
I don't know. What does it say on my marker? Pretty sure it says Alpha 1 beneath my name.
Oh, it actually can. You can see the marker. Hey, can I ask you what happened at the beginning, the first phase?
Off start?
Oh, Lenny. Oh, come on, it's
Yeah.
We were hit by very accurate mortar fire. Our position might have been a little obvious, and our dragon was pushed out on point to point R3 on the map, way out there. Unfortunately, our dragon team was a little new. I don't think they retreated very early, and we were down a dragon when contact started, so we didn't have AT or much of it.
So around southeast, I ended up in a forest.
Where were
there
you
about
positioned?
10 Finnish people.
Were you
Point
at
Coco.
the tree line?
And,
Point.
So I hid in a bush, waited for
Point
them to
Coco
pass
for
and
Alpha
start
1.
popping them in the back.
Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 were around us, so pretty close.
Like a good, like, 30
Where's
seconds.
Point Coco?
Where's Point Coco?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I will point to it
I
myself.
got like 5 or 6 bullets into someone.
Okay, so Point Marine.
Yeah, Point Marine, Point Coco, Point Ina. I think somebody put down shitpost marks. Yeah, somebody in my squad put down a bunch of marks that are just shitposts, but I thought they were real.
Were you actually like at the tree line, or were you within or inside the forest? The tree, whatever.
We started out at the edge of the tree line, we retreated, and once fire started flying over our heads.
Okay.
If you're wondering, oh man, that got us spotted, honestly, they knew we were there. I don't expect them not to know that we were there at the main tree line, behind the main road, facing the main field that they have to cross.
Yeah.
And that's why they already had us beat it in for artillery. Maybe they verified we were there first, but then they already started saturation bombing us with mortars, and we had to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, that northeastern flank totally let everybody through.
It collapsed, but it's not for me to just...
We had a minefield at GR3. I don't know if anyone's actually watching us, because as far as I know, Alpha seemed quite tightly, and perhaps way too much so, tightly packed around, you know, Point Marine and all that. I don't know how far northeast we were, but if we weren't all the way to the edge of the map, that's trouble.
I mean, knowing Sver, he could have just pushed tanks through.
Yeah, he is. I don't know exactly what he has, to be quite honest, but I know he has.
He's not afraid of minefields. But I mean, the situation was that Bravo 3 Bradley, we took off from our positions and went to Bravo 3 Alt 1,
Alright, nice.
so that we could ambush the enemies east. But when we arrived, which we opened the map, when we arrived here to dismount our infantry, so they would come here to protect our flank,
How many minutes after contact start was this?
I panicked.
5 minutes. So when there was message that enemy BMPs were here, we were moving up here, and the enemies were already at the position, so we were shooting 10-20 meters off of us with HE on the Bradley. So we had to take off back to try to go to Field Kennedy or Romeo 9. But when we arrived here, we were shot from enemies that was here already.
Yep, the enemies pushed in unopposed through Field Truman and Field Kennedy. Alpha was retreating pretty much alongside them, parallel with the enemy. We were running as fast as we could. There was no real attempt to make an engagement northeastwards or eastwards that I know of. The retreat order was almost immediate, but the mortars were quite accurate. So I'm 2IC for Alpha 1, and I don't know what the coordination above me at the platoon level was. But I know personally I said, okay, are we retreating once the mortars started splashing close enough to create casualties on Point Marine? And once we did retreat, the enemies found our truck. Our truck was west of R5. The enemies shot it from the edge of the map, such that we couldn't use it to retreat, so we had to continue walking along the forest all the way up to Rally Point 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much a direct line from Point Marine to Rally Point 1. And once we got to Rally Point 1, there were 4 survivors, myself, and 4 other members of Alpha 1 that I pushed slightly northeast to engage the enemy because we weren't getting away from that. And we killed a few of them.
So the situation developed so like the enemy had a breakthrough from here, and they just went up here, and when we were at the Tango 2 area, we could see that the enemy was crossing over to here, and they just pushed on a post from line yellow to line red up here.
Yeah. We were also supposed to be the ones defending that line yellow and line red.
Alright, everyone.
And they gave us ample time to do so, but we couldn't do it.
Everyone who spawned, come to me. Everyone who spawned, don't start running anywhere, come to me.
We're here.
Everyone who spawned, come to me. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so there's the Suhoi flying OS every 2 minutes or something. We are at close to Crossroads 13. Yeah, if you check the map. Yep. Go by the tree lines. Don't let the Suhoi know where the fuck you are. You are free to go right now. Just start moving east.
Southeast.
Yeah, southeast. Yeah.
Yeah. We should. Is there any? Are
They
there
might have
any
seen us just now.
Trail
Yeah,
line?
there's enemies inside the radar station.
Right, we will fuck them up.
Oh yeah, we fucking will. Alright,
You should be free to go.
Hello,
to
Mr.
the
Frogfoot.
now. Ask your platoon.
Oh good, he's going in for a strike. He might not have seen us. Okay, good. He's going in for a strike. I thought he was staring at us, but he was actually beating out his target. The fact that he was engaging something means that he probably was not looking at us and multitasking. But who knows, for sure. You think Yellow Team is still in that forest we engaged in?
It's already managed to crash a bike.
Gentlemen, spread out horizontally.
Where are we headed, Lanky? Contact. I'm gonna survive and call this orbital team. We're way too close to this speed.
This is Alpha
Break,
1.
break.
There are a bunch of Russians real close to fucking respawn point.
CR11, CR11, CR11. Fuck me, man. Wow! That fucking suppressive. I need to get some rounds downrange on these engagements. Because I just turned into meat mist. I don't know if they were beaten on my tree and ready to shoot, or if it was just pure bad luck, but I think that was just bad luck at this point. I'm gonna try and hope somebody gets me up, but I do not have good hopes. Considering the limited cone of engagement there, I think maybe I could have backed off, having the tree as concealment between me and the enemy, and I just go backwards a little bit, backpedaling 50 meters, whatever it takes, and then looking around a tree and fingers crossed, hoping that I could poke some heads from long range.
You are dead.
I am not dead. Please get me up. And keep your fucking head down, goddamn. Severe's really going MSP hunting today.
Who's still alive?
Me. I killed 2 people just now, I think. They are on the big rock, if you're wondering.
Yeah, I can see all of them. I'm prone by a bush.
So enemies have surrounded the town. And I think the guy that said, "Oh, are you dead?" went to go save his own skin.
BMP and I don't like it.
Maybe he thought I was dead. Maybe he needs other priorities right now.
Crawling for my fucking
But
life.
I'm not getting back up.
Yeah, make sure to go on.
I'll give it a second anyways, though.
I'm heading southwest.
Shift left on me.
They've seen me, I think.
Our engagements so far have been mortars we had to retreat from right away. We knew the enemy were there and we engaged first, which was our second engagement at the rally point. That actually went well for us. We were overwhelmed. Force count wise, I'm pretty sure they had a squad and we had 1 team, and we still inflicted heavy casualties and stopped them. I'm happy of that. However, every other engagement so far this entire operation has essentially been we walk into the enemy head first. I suppose we did have opportunity. We did have ample opportunity to prepare. When they were moving along the red advance line, we saw them. There was a lot of them. There was a lot more of them than there was us, but that's the defending experience, you know? We had to kill them all. I think for that particular engagement, Lanky saying retreat was a bad call. Like, where are we gonna go, you know? We're at the edge of the map. We would be, again, walking parallel to them. We just gotta kill him, dude. We just gotta fucking kill him. So it was a very, very bad plan indeed to try and retreat there, but that was one engagement of many. And then we respawned, we came back into the forest. And that next engagement... How much blood do I have? Okay, I'm gonna try and get in the next MSP wave. They might need the help. The next engagement in the forest was us literally walking through the enemy, and the enemy ambushed us. Very bad. And then this one was, we walked headfirst into the enemy at CR11. And I think we didn't really surprise them. I think they were prepared. I think they were quite prepared at CR11. We mostly got killed. The respawn is now all the way at the edge of the AO, hoping to use our tickets, but I don't know how many tickets we have left. I think this operation's about to get called, and I think the attackers won very handily. Elias read it out to you guys and read it out to me. The enemy marched in, their initial plan, Field Truman, Field Kennedy, cut west, cross the road, ASR Olga.
You should stick with your fucking team lead.
We tried.
Sound muted.
And they followed right up, advancing along red tide because, I mean, they had their jet. That probably killed our Bradleys handily, or at least made them scared. The BMPs provided armored support, a big presence, and the infantry in the end killed us on line red tie, and they moved up. And there were more moving up along T2, which we faced when we came in from respawn. And then they had advanced all the way up to CR11 to provide blocking on any reinforcements to come into the town of Nieuwenhaan, whatever. And I don't know if anyone is defending that town now. I don't really know what's going on, to be fair.
Sound resumed.
Joo, se on että semmoinen dominoon sen jälkeen. Mä just meinaan...
Well, we're getting fucked.
Varmistunut kyselin noilta pulkkiksella.
No, he was with me, right behind me, giving blood, and then a BMP tore into us.
Severe is relishing your pain right now.
They're
You did a pretty good plan.
You're in pain. I've done nothing the last, like, 3 lives.
I like how we got ambushed instead of them.
I guess it's just my microphone being really close to my face. That's what makes it sound like a podcast, is that I'm literally eating my microphone.
We had a huge miscommunication of blue between Tango 5 and Tango 1.
Blue and blue between Tango 5 and Tango 1? Where's that? Oh, there was a huge blue and blue incident west of ASR Helga over here. That's what Trenchard just said. Belchinator says, if you had a do-over for the first part, would you have put a team behind the fields to your rear? Or would you have spread too thin along the front? I think for the first objective, the enemy had multiple possible plans. Severe personally enjoys sticking more to big blobs of forest, especially when you're attacking, and you can just pass the enemy. You can run past them essentially and hit them in the back, create mass confusion. And since you're attacking and you have double the force count, usually you will win those engagements if you can just get past them, surround them, fuck them up. Maybe we should have simply surrendered, Field Truman. Maybe we should have stationed our forces in such a way that we could have a mass amount of force here near ASR Matilda. But the thing is, when we bunch up against mortars, it's going to end poorly. If they find out where we are at all, or if they have a good hunch where we are, for example, Point Marine, which is quite obvious, then the mortars will just saturate us and destroy us. I'm no tactical genius. I don't know for sure what we should have done. I know some of the micro decisions that I can criticize because I'm in the squad with the squad lead. But as far as the macro stuff with the platoon lead, maybe we should have spread out further, both to counter mortars and to make sure they're not going to do an edge flank, which AFI is prone to do. When I say edge flank, I mean the edge of the map. AT kill zone was marked here by Skytech CEO. I don't know by what. Did he expect Bravo 3 to immediately scoot over here, set up their truck facing eastwards? Rather, set themselves up facing eastwards and have their own dragon ready to kill in the AT kill zone? Because I feel like that point push on R3 was putting too much trust into our dragon team, who killed nothing and got wiped. I think the dragon team maybe should have waited in hiding in very thick bushes, not in these two little buildings, but instead in very thick bushes for enemies to pass. But there's not a ton of foliage around here, so it's not necessarily guaranteed that they could have any opportunity to flank and destroy the enemy. Enemies spotted near MSP. That's what the hint just said. That means there are enemies as far as here. And that means we're pretty much done here, as far as I know. Hurrahs, thank you for the follow. Comp, if you're heading out, see you later. For those that might be filtering out now that the AFI operation is coming to a close, know that I will probably be playing with the Acadian XX in about, 2.5 hours. So if you want to come back then, by all means, we'll be doing a SOG op, the new Vietnam DLC. We're going to be playing Mike Force, but we got a special copy of the Mike Force mission designed for more people. So it's going to be a big op, but it's still going to be Mike Force. Let's see. Yeah, it's all going to be illuminated in the AR. I'm going to stick around for it. In a moment, this operation will end. We'll all go back into the TeamSpeak, and I will crack open the AFI After Action Report software, which lets me view where everyone went at every moment for the whole operation. Every shot that was shot, every medical bandage that was administered, every grenade that was thrown, we'll know it. And once I can look at that, I'll know for sure what we should have done, with 20/20 hindsight, but man, it was a little rough for sure. The first retreat, we got to kill some guys. When we sat down near ASR Olga, I felt like I didn't exactly know where the enemy was until they were upon us. And if they were crossing around counterclockwise here, maybe that could have been communicated more clearly to the people like me on the south side watching the extreme flank. I did mention to them that there was flankers coming in south, maybe outside of the map. Sure. We'll see for sure whether they actually went outside of the map later. No guarantee. And when the enemy pushed us head on and from the right, and a little bit from the left too with that BMP, it was rough because we were extremely overwhelmed in force count. I don't know who engaged up near R6. There was a friendly force way out here past ASR Olga that made all that shooting start. If you recall, they were shooting way before we got engaged with the enemy. Whoever that was should not have been out there that far, I feel. It could have been a cutoff force without radio comm, so I can't say for sure, but if they could have, they should have been back with us, so we can all engage at the same time, preferably when they're making the ASR Olga street crossing. That would be preferable. I don't know if that gives the Bradleys ample opportunity to support, especially against enemy BMPs, but either way, I think I would have preferred we engaged when they were making the road crossing. And if they were primarily northeast, the squad leader should have physically shifted us over so we can engage effectively. Because we were definitely spaced along this, kind of expecting an ASR Olga crossing, but we were a little too far back to actually cover ASR Olga. I could only see a little slice of it. So, bad positioning, overwhelming force counts without enough help from friendlies. The third engagement, moving into the forest. Again, we were just oblivious. We got completely surrounded by Russians, and then I got team killed. I didn't get team killed, I got team shot, but the team shot in the back of my head definitely did contribute to my not-so-team death shortly after. We respawned one more time, and we immediately dove into some enemies. I mean, the operation was pretty much over by the time this happened, but those enemies on CR11 really surprised me. Shocked that there were people that far up. Conf, now that I'm actually reading chat again. Decadian, do you know if Sam will play? I don't know for sure. I know Warpugs is in the operation, but I didn't check the roll sheet for Sam. Sam very well may be there, but I don't know. Pi says, look in Discord. Sure, sometime today, maybe, or maybe not. Ott says, Sam and Pug are both playing in the Cadian thing. Sam is a driver and Pug's a gunner. Okay. You can watch whoever you want to, Otts. I don't give a fuck. We're about to respawn, and honestly, the enemies are probably about to execute me as soon as I respawn. I'm excited for it.
Sound resumed.
You are, aren't you? Pretty much, yeah.
Exhibit, I'm gonna go tell on you.
Well, we're gonna try to get to know.
Skeeter done, gamers. 7 seconds till we die again. You ready?
Take the town.
Yep.
7 seconds? That's optimistic.
Let's go.
I saw the timer reset to 15 minutes just as we spawned, and my heart sunk.
Reinforcements are in.
Okay.
Where to?
Just to decide.
Reinforcements are in.
I don't know.
Okay.
Ghost?
Like a fucking clue.
Hey, regroup on
Ghost? There he goes.
Where are we?
Shooting towards this
What do you mean, where are we? We're on the respawn
Where
dot,
are
Trench. We're on the respawn
Hey,
dot.
Will.
Look at the map.
Okay, gotcha.
Take cover, wait for Lanky.
Okay, take cover and wait for Lanky. We gotta wait for transport.
Trench, I'm not in your squad. I'm talking to other people.
I'm trying to figure out what. Whale, what are we supposed to be doing here?
Gentlemen, on me. We are moving northeast.
Pray, Trench. Your job is to pray. We're getting fucked, Mickey. That's how Redline's going. Hello.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk along MSR Emma to the town.
Up to MSR Emma, then pushing down, because there's no real way to get to the town. We will 100% be exposed.
I can think of better ways than MSR Emma. But hey, you know, if Platoon wants to push along MSR Emma, power to you. But to be fair, considering this late in the operation, if people start making more tactical mistakes because they're fed up, that's okay. But I really would not have moved along MSR Emma. Maybe the enemy wouldn't expect that, but come on, you know, the MSP, the edge of the map, the forest, use it, man. Use it. Or lose it. Freezy, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Trankov, yeah, the script has always done that for years. I've played probably 25 AFI operations so far with this exact format, and when they do respawns like that, the respawn timer just resets like that before you spawn. People freak out every time, but it's no problem. It always works. You know, I went red earlier in the operation, so yellow would know exactly who to follow, but honestly, team cohesion has not been extremely gluey this whole operation, in my fire team particularly. Also, I think our AT gunner disconnected, or one of them did. Now, when I say team cohesion hasn't been super gluey, that's also my fault. I haven't exactly been micromanaging my fire team, but God, I want them to just shoot. I want them to shoot and kill and space out and use the trees. And those
Do any of
things,
us have disposables or rockets?
those things can't be so easily taught.
Nope, but I found a jeep that has one.
Grab a launcher.
Lanky
I'm
has
like
stopped.
400 meters away from your actual position.
Oh.
We are currently past Hill 242, east of the respawn mark.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Surprised he knows where we are. Conf, I kind of feel that. Honestly, when I watch streams, when I'm vegging out on Twitch, sometimes I have 2 or 3 streams open at once. Though, to be fair, one of the main reasons I open streams is to be one of those annoying guys that's kind of just there to chat. I don't actually watch that many streams unless the content is super engaging, like Germa or something scripted. Unscripted stuff usually isn't enough. It's not entertaining enough for my sugar-addled millennial brain. Are we about to try and hit a BMP from 300 meters and miss 2 LAT shots? Because somebody just said BMP spotted, but the audio I hear is far out there. As far as fuck. South of us, CR-13, MSR Petra. Oh shit, there it is. Range to target 600 meters, bearing 158, enemy BMP. You're not gonna make that shot, by the way. There's a poor lone soldier marching towards the BMP in the open field.
Let's keep moving northeast. Northeast.
You got this, dude. I believe in you. Good luck. Good fucking luck. What a hero. What a hero.
So, do we know how many tickets we have, guys?
Howdy, no one. How you doing?
Well, we can find out how many tickets we have, but we have to go back to respawn.
No, thank you.
Just the admin.
Cool, you admin.
Looking direct east. Should be nothing. That's the edge of the map we're staring at, right? think so.
No, it's the terrain bugging out. I see like a stick, like a green stick poking out from the ground is just wiggling.
Hey, no one. Yeah, this indeed is a TVT. TVT is being played here.
BMP is spotted directly southeast on the main road. We're fucked. Oh.
We're fucked.
Yeah, we spotted that BMP before.
Oh, that's close. Back away into the trees.
Scary.
I would say my luck isn't exactly great today, so I don't know. If I'm near the front of an engagement, I'm sure a stray shot is gonna blow my head from my shoulders. What the hell is that? Huh.
Right, gentlemen, we are right now on top of MSR ammo.
Yeah, enemies on CR10, that's no surprise. Scream percolate at the BMP and hope they'll have a heart attack. Well, that's a plan, no one. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. I'll just swear at them, see what happens. I got explosions ringing out across that town. There's an engagement going on there.
Yeah, I know. Actually, maybe
Sure
there
as hell
is.
there's something we could do about it. These tickets are gonna get used to kill the enemy, not to sit here and watch. I don't know what the platoon lead's telling you, but I hope it's to, you know, do something. Hell yeah! This is the end of the operation and we're desperate. Desperate times, desperate measures. You know what they say.
Thank you. I think it's best if we just hit east immediately and then go into town.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
That's 2.5 kilometers, but you should tell them that is a transport BTR mounted with troops, and it's coming right for the town. Surprised his Vetus is that high. Like, damn. Mickey remembers how jarred he was when Severe said percolate.
Far east and then try and find the closest distance with a cover to get
Yeah,
into the town.
Severe has an opportunity to say percolate in most CCOs. To be fair,
Any
Mickey,
kind of explosives elements we can find, we use them.
all these big ops have somebody being an idiot, one way or another. Holy lag, where'd everybody go? Mind the edge of the map. Pretty sure if there is someone, and I did see them on top of that rock out there at CR10, they would spot us out here. I'd be surprised if they didn't. So we just need to... How many LAT pieces do we have left? Do we have LAT with us? God, I hope so.
No.
Nope.
Nope, no AT. I'm getting molested by some infantry. Adios, bros.
Well, we need to make our way into that town regardless of the BMPs, and if we get contact, maybe we should just smoke it and run for the town.
Yeah. If that's impossible.
Do we have smoke?
Well, we got hand shells.
We're gonna have to rest up for now, get our stamina back, stay inside a bush, go prone, get your stamina up, and then we're about to attack.
Please don't smoke unless they know where we are. So hold those for hand smokes.
No, I like to use my foot smokes. Smokes? Well.
Mm-hmm.
Foot smokes.
What? Snoke from Star Wars. Shittiest character ever.
I don't know why they put him in that goddamn movie. Far, enemy BMP, 202 moving left to right. Fucking laser won't work in the bush.
It's not looking at us.
Advancing up Y4, I think.
Let's move bush to bush.
God, I hope it doesn't look towards us.
See infantry. Yeah, enemy infantry bearing direct south. By that smoke, they're all occupying that forest. They're moving into the town. I count a squad element. There's a fucking lot of them.
Please, grass.
We gotta move
Function,
into that town
please.
quick to reinforce our guys.
Please, grass. Yeah, the Russians have been steamrolling us for like about 2 hours, no one.
You okay, Will?
Yeah, you should be crawling too. I'm just fine.
Okay, sorry.
We've been spotted. If you I highly recommend you throw one southwest. Or river.
Should we do a roll call?
No, you should just stay alive. Do we have any more hand smokes? We're gonna need them in about 30 seconds. If you got stamina and you can make it to the town, use the smoke while it's there. I don't have stamina, but good luck if you do.
Yeah, well.
Tell me you got a fucking hand smoke. I'll sit here and die for it. Hey, you're back up. Get behind a tree. I stole yours. You can have it back up. I'm not gonna steal a guy's tree. That's just mean. No one. Of course you don't have AT. Why do you think we're here screaming and dying? The smoke's got like 10 more fucking seconds. I'm not gonna make it to the town with it. Bushes. The best bushes are being saturated with enemy fire. Fuck me. It's so many hundreds of meters.
Run, Will.
Oh, my ass. Fuck me, man. This sucks. Somebody once told me, face your legs towards the enemy so they can't headshot you. It's not bad advice. Not like they're gonna push us. I don't know how thirsty they are for blood, but they don't really need to push us. We have to crawl up to them. One fucking stupid ass push at a time. I wish they would just take our MSP and end this. The EMP hasn't taken return fire yet, so if it thinks we're still here, I'm sure it realizes by now that we don't have AT. And it can just come here and clean us up if it wanted to. I'm gonna try and prone next to this bush and not get shot from the town. Please let there be a path with foliage to the town, please. Barely. Alright. If anyone's still alive, call your name down the line, starting with Whale.
I'm about to die.
We got enemy reinforcements, east just dismounted. I hear their wheels, 50 meters or less.
No, that's a BRDM. Proto's down.
BRDM is the command Vic. We're gonna engage. BRDM, you have to focus the tires first. If you have a machine gun, you're better off. I'm gonna try and frag as well. Fuck, what did dismount? This is east. Where did I hear it then? Does anyone know precisely where we heard this BRDM?
It passed right next to us now.
Whoever's talking right next to me. Hey, you're on yelling. Please fix that. I can't crawl over there, they're watching the grass. Ugh. I want to get his machine gun though. He said the south, huh? Well, before he died, he said the south, and he ragdolled, so he's dead. Speaking of dead, I don't see an approach to this town that uses foliage. God, I'm all the way at B2 mark now. Okay, hopefully they're not watching this fucking thing. Please, 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 give me that machine gun. Yeah, the yelling don't matter no more. I think he was on normal talking, not yelling, but it was bad enough. And he's an... oh, he's just an ammo bearer. Got any smokes, friend? Okay, I do not want to stand up here. I'm already exposing myself way more than I should. How do I get on that fucking town? Wow. Good eyes. Good eyeballs. I think there was one further to the front right, specifically a BMP, and since there was a fire exchange near me, I should have either stayed there or... I suppose I continue crawling around the map clockwise, but I wasn't gonna get much use out of my life at that point.
Got killed so many times.
There we go.
And like, oh man, I felt like I was just going blind so many times.
I was hundreds, wow.
Like I had no idea what I was.
Hundreds of meters. I was further than I thought. I thought we got close to the town, but we were nowhere near it. I wasn't on B2. We were barely east of MSR Emma when we started crawling. And our approach route, there was none. There sure as hell was none. Look at that field, Nixon right there. 100 meters of death. Pass. Hard pass. Well, that's the BRDM we spotted. It is not their command Vic. It's attached to Romeo 1. Interesting. Romeo 1 being a little spaced out. Huh. They have standoff lines at T7. They've taken over our B3, B1 Phase 3 marks. I mean, there's some reinforcements trying to do something. This is TMTM right here. But I don't see anyone with LAT. I don't see anyone with light anti-tank right now. Not this guy either. He's got an M60, but that's not going to do that much. Luna, Noah, Trench. Another team from TMTM. Again, with no LAT that I can see. Where are the LAT boys? Well, we got a Grenadier with a 40 mic. Is that at least HE dual purpose? Because otherwise it doesn't even make a difference. It's another team. No light anti-tank. Jazzco over here. Aldo's lonesome. Lennox and the boys getting saturated. With not a single light anti-tank launcher in the whole goddamn world. Elias. Ravili. Nermi. Did all the LAT boys disconnect? Do they not get rearmed on respawn? I don't get it. Where's the LAT? Where's the rocket launchers? Where they at? How are we supposed to engage with nothing to counter these BMPs, well, BRDMs you can shoot with anything in the goddamn world, but BMPs especially. No LATs. Nothing. This BMP's having the time of his goddamn life. Because he ain't got a counter in the whole goddamn world. Yeah, this is hard over. Trenkov, it was hard over like 30 minutes ago, but I'll suppose I'll say it again. Still hard over. Severe's just playing with us. Ah, my back itches. Good opportunity for me to go get a snack, I guess, while they wrap up. They said 10 minutes a few minutes ago, so it won't be long. They got 1 BMP. They got 2 BMPs. They got 3 BMPs. They got 4 BMPs. They got 5 BMPs. They got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 BMPs. And a BRDM. And another BRDM. They got 6 BMPs, by the way. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I expected 4. They're supposed to have a lot. It's a big team, but 6 is a lot. So it's the 80s. I understand we have M47 Dragons. They were attaches, meaning we don't get unlimited dragons. That makes perfect sense. I don't think we effectively used our dragons in ambush against the enemy BMPs. I don't know if the enemy BMPs were hanging back or standing off, but either way, we didn't blow up any of them. Did we blow up a single BMP that entire operation? Oh, they have 7. Yeah, okay, correction. They have 7 BMPs. Did we blow up any of them this whole op? Do I see any smoking hulks, any crashed wrecks? Our first defensive line is just craters. Oh, hey, okay. Here's an abandoned BMP. That's BMP number 8. I think we took that one out at op start. They ditched it for some reason. I'm assuming because it's too damaged. And that's it. How many Bradleys did we have, Sandwich? I think we had 4. To be fair, we did have 4 Bradleys. I'm forgetting that completely. And they have this Frogfoot doing his thing. The Bradleys could hypothetically shoot down this Frogfoot if it was real dumb, but the Frogfoot has not been, quote, real dumb this op, so they did not shoot it down. He's just doing his thing. This Frogfoot's, he can peace out for the rest of the operation. There's not much more for him to do. You know, the AFI operations tend to have a clear victor, I suppose. Usually the defenders get pushed all the way back, or they don't get pushed back much at all. However, the last red line was a hard push the whole way through. The attackers made it to the last defensive line at the very end of the operation. It was very back and forth. This red line feels like kind of a stop. I think Severe took it a little slowly after pretty much taking the final objective. For the last 45 minutes, I feel like he's been playing with us, but I don't know. Maybe something else is going on. You never really know until you know. Sandwich says, so you had no air support. Yeah, we didn't have any air support. We might have had a SAM, but I wouldn't know. Well, we had LAT Pi. I know for sure we had LAT, but for some reason I feel like all the LAT we had just disconnected or something, or they used all their launchers, and I don't know. I figure for the light anti-tank we get the launcher back every time he respawns, but maybe that's not the case. And if it's not, that's... I don't like it. I feel like they should get their launchers back every time they respawn. Otherwise, we end up in situations like these, where it's, you know, 6 BMPs against a smattering of Blue 4 infantry, and what are you gonna do? Just die, is what you're gonna do. Simply wait to die. And then die. Just like that. I mean, this guy's turned out. Come on, Ghost. Get him. Fuck him up. Crook Doodle, you guys are from TMTM. He's still turned out. You can see him plain as day. Blow his brains out. Oh my god, he turned in. You hesitated. Why did you hesitate, Ghost? Why did you hesitate? What were you waiting for? IFF? Did you think it was a friendly sticking out of the top of that enemy BMP? Goofball. I'm not going to make any calls on whether the op was weighted for one side or another. I would say, usually it's more fun if the attackers have enough of an advantage to push it, because it's much easier to defend than it is to attack. So usually AFI gives the attackers enough troops to do what they need to do. They'd give them enough force multipliers, likewise. And I think, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think AFI attackers win more often. But usually not like this. So we'll see if anything broke down when we go into the after action. I'm sure people that are platoon leads have a better view of this entire tactical situation, and they will have a lot to say. Still a firefight going on over here. Homegrown organic firefight. Has this little blue fort flank been spotted? Yes, it has. Dink donk. And then there's one. You got it, Nermi. Kill him dead. Oh, he's right there. He saw him. Nermi! Ah, Nermi. Nermi missed his shots. Almost got UGL'd. Still alive, but not for long. He's bandaging himself. Fair enough, but they know which tree he's in. Wow, that guy's a lot of UGLs. Has he been collecting them? Man, that was 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a smoke. Okay, I think he had 6 UGLs. So I think he might have looted a little bit because usually attackers and defenders alike don't get that many. Yeah, this little firefight is a little one-sided. And so is this one. Poor Exhibit from Face Punch Arma. This guy was in my element. I feel like he's been hanging out in that... Has he? Has he been hanging out in this bush since OpStart? I mean, OpStart, what am I saying? Since we started our advance along MSR Emma and we had to duck for cover. I think he's been there a while. Yeah, Mickey. That's the thing. Mickey's right. When the attackers are attacking, they need to have a numbers advantage. And preferably a force multiplier advantage because they're attacking. It's harder to attack than it is to defend. Not just in planning, but also the execution. You're attacking a fixed location where the defenders have time to prepare. And maybe the location ain't even so fixed. Like this whole AO, the attackers kind of knew where we were going to station at the beginning there. But after that, we could be anywhere on this whole AO waiting to ambush them. It's important the attackers have an advantage. Otherwise it won't be a fun op and the attackers are just mashing themselves against the defense and dying. Okay, that was the AFI operation. We are going to move into the after action report. We're going to talk about what went down, what went well, what didn't go so good. I'm going to take a moment to fix my in-game settings because they're still broken after SOG. But we're going to talk to the boys. We're going to boot up the AR software. And this should last about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to take a break. And then we're going to go to the Kading XX operation in about 2 hours. But I probably will take a break before then.
Linked in the Arma Finland TeamSpeak tab to keep track of what happened during the battle.
That was a fucking massacre.
I want this AAR.
What happened in the battle?
Blue
Such a
4
spawning and dying a
or 4
minute
win.
later.
Yeah.
3 times in a row.
I wanted to go knock on a BMP hull before it ended.
Can I just ask something? How did I do during this? Like, was I a good squad lead?
You were
Fine, I guess.
You were okay.
I don't have any problems.
I mean, you could probably update more context on what's actually happening because that helps.
Yeah,
But
I feel like I didn't know what friendly
heard-
forces were doing for most of that operation. I feel like when we did reinsert, it was a little haphazard on occasion.
That is because I had as much information as you.
Okay, like at the start of the mission, you were giving us the briefing, and then the guy said mission starting, and you were like, what?
Yeah, also, I don't know if you're used to these AFI ops, but we definitely needed to move out faster on OpStart. It didn't end up mattering.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. But just as a habit
It's because
thing.
like I thought like the first Redline op I did, we were like sort of standing around waiting, and then it was mission start. Then we moved out.
Okay.
But you know, I didn't think it was mission start, so I just sort of like was like
We were attacking,
reading
right?
over the plans again and stuff.
That previous time you were attacking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that might have been why.
Yep.
All good.
Is it worth staying for briefing?
No worries.
I mean, debriefing or...
Debriefing here is actually pretty cool. They have an after-action software that shows you everything that happened for the entire op, every movement, every frag grenade, everything.
I want to see that northern breakthrough.
I don't know how crazy I am about that, honestly.
It's pretty damn good, Slee.
The software is
Can you see it
cool,
afterwards?
but
Or?
you don't need to be in
I've
the
seen it
channel
already,
to see
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't need to be in the channel.
I mean, if someone links it, I'll take a look at it in a bit.
I think the
I
Vaco has it,
prefer
if not,
the previous TVT in Arma Finland.
Yeah, I like the previous TVT more. The
Because there was
versus Russian.
long-range engagement, I knew who because they were. Is my mic working?
Yeah, it is. You just. Oh man, I just hope like the next AFI thing is gonna be good.
Continuing about
next TVT or the
yeah,
op or what?
the fucking UN op.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
Cool. Well,
I want
it was fun, lads.
long-range engagements, not the CQC.
It was good fun.
Like there was so many situations that if I know how to shoot properly, like on dudes that are 10 meters away, I would most likely killed a lot of people.
Yeah, so I could describe the engagements one by one. Obviously, the first one we got mortared quite a bit. It probably was expected that we were going to get mortared. I think we knew the enemy had artillery, so I think platoon lead made a poor decision to keep us so tightly spaced, or did not notice how tightly spaced we were and didn't talk about it. So once the mortar started falling and the enemy had found our position and the round started flying, we were at the edge of a tree line that did not have good sight lines eastwards past the road, and we didn't want to, of course, push over the road to see those sight lines because that would make it hard to fall back. So we were holding from the edge of a tree line with poor visibility, but they could at least know where we were because honestly it was quite an obvious position, and they shelled it and they suppressed it preemptively. We took casualties, and most importantly, it was really chaotic. I know full well the other alpha element, the TMTM one I talked to, they mentioned that they didn't even retreat. We retreated. They didn't even retreat. They were staying there, they were dying, and then eventually they got flanked and killed without killing much at all.
Every
that was the first
engagement we had, we were in the defilade. Every engagement.
You mean the enfilade?
No, we had like lower ground. That's what I'm trying to say.
He means
that doesn't sound right.
With the road, it was a little elevated.
It was a little, yeah, but the second one where we were at R2, was it? It was horrible. There was no good sight lines to the enemy. We only spotted them when they were danger close.
Yeah.
I think they only spotted us when they were danger close at most of those engagements.
Yeah, but they most of the time caught us off because they were expecting an attack. We didn't know what was going on. Like,
well, we had a few
basically
engagements where we had ample time to prepare. I was curious when we were along the southwestern edge of the map in one of the final organized engagements. We had friendlies engaging in front of us across ASR Olga or something like that. There was fire exchanged a long time before they came to us. Who was all the way out there, and why couldn't they have fallen back to help us?
Oh no, that wasn't Alpha 2. That was Alpha 3. No, yeah, it was Alpha 3 by R6. They reported enemies coming in, and then
they were in front of us across Olga, right?
And then, like, I didn't know what happened to them. I heard the gunfire stopped, so there were two things that I thought: either they died or they took care of it. But I didn't hear anything from them.
Did it occur to you that this was? I think Platoon hopefully emphasized that this was obviously the main enemy route of attack, and that the reason we had all those marks, the lines, the yellow line, black line, red line, is because those are just the directions through the forest that they were going to direct their entire platoon. That's why those marks were there. So we assumed it was going to be a whole mess of people. Did you not presume that? Did you think it was only going to be an enemy squad or so?
I did see, like, I expected a platoon element because, like, platoon lead fucking called it up, like they said. Oh, well, not platoon lead. Alpha 3 said, hey, we've spotted a big element. They're coming towards us.
Alpha 3 being the ones on our left flank up the hill.
I figured, okay,
on the black line,
we'll stay at RP2. We'll stay at RP2, and then we'll hold our position, and then once we take contacts, we retreat. Naturally, enemy came danger close. A lot of fire was exchanged, and then we got fucked up because they had the numbers advantage. And Like as soon as I ordered the retreat to go back northwest, it was too late.
Do you think we could have retreated northwest?
We could have if I had done it earlier, but I honestly don't know how I would have done it earlier because, you know, I don't know where the enemy is.
So, the reason defenders retreat directly after an engagement is because they assume that they can ambush the enemy, have the element of surprise, inflict chaos upon a disorganized attack that weighs them down. So the defenders have time to leave after inflicting casualties. Now, obviously, when we were along the edge of the map there, whoever Alpha 2 you mentioned, Alpha 2 was far on point past ASR Olga and was engaged with the enemy first.
Alpha 3.
They had. Well, are you sure it's Alpha 3? Who was the Alpha that was on our left up the hill on the black line?
On the black line, I think it was. Yeah, on the black line, it was Alpha 2.
Alpha 3 is the one who told me they were on the black line, so I'm just going to go off Alpha 3
wait.
being the one on our left flank on the black line, and Alpha 2 being the one across the road. But it doesn't really matter for my point. My point is, whoever engaged first gave our position away. The enemy could presume, since this was their attack direction and it was quite obvious, that there would be at least a platoon waiting to fight their platoon. So they expected more contact across the road when they only found one squad to engage, when they noticed that there were Bradleys on the flanks covering the sector, and we no longer had any element of surprise. So, honestly, I would have committed to an attack along the flank. I would have tried to hold them from crossing Road Olga at all, and when we pulled back into the forest and decreased our sight lines, I don't know, they did have an ample opportunity to surround us, and they went ahead and definitely surrounded us. There were some of them that were, I'm going to check now that my AR has loaded. I think some of them went off the map, to be honest. They were really out there, but I'm going to look for sure. Yeah, and then we got fixed, we got flanked, and we got destroyed. And I don't think the force count mattered so much, because we did have help. We just didn't have a ton of help. And defenders, if the ratio was what I expect, which is like 2 to 3 for that attack, I could be wrong. But if it was that ratio, I think we could have defended perfectly effectively. What would I have done different is, I don't know, maybe more emphasis on holding ASR Olga, or whoever the fuck was way out there. And looking at it now, it actually looks like you were right. It was Alpha 3 way out there in front of us.
Yeah,
I wish
Alpha
they would
3
have helped
called in
us,
that they
or we
had
could help them,
Alpha
or
3
something.
called out that they had a detachment out there.
No, they were all
east
there.
of
I'm looking at it right
ASR
now.
Olga.
Yeah, and they all got attacked by the platoon at once. If you look at my stream, you can if you want. If you want to do it on your own, you will want to get the AFI AR software that I think was posted in TeamSpeak publicly.
I have it, don't worry.
In Lanky, if you want to move up, there is a platoon level debrief for squad leads in the Blue 4 channel right now, I think.
Is it optional?
Yeah, it's optional. You don't need to be there.
And I'm not coming.
Okay. Fair enough. So looking at the stream then, let's see. We're here. We all gathered together after much delay. If this is Alpha 2, they were way out there by Hades Field helping out the Bradley. Our whole platoon was quite spaced out, but we had to cover the whole area, approaching the town. That's fair enough. And their attack was very concentrated. I suppose we had to inflict as many casualties as we could before we retreated. Our retreat route, we could move through the forest just fine, so I suppose we did have a very clear retreat route in hindsight. But whoever was way out there in front of us got themselves killed, in my opinion. They weren't a distraction, they weren't a flanking force, they were just attacking the enemy head-on, force on force, but outnumbered more than 2 to 1, so they got fucked. So much so that the rest of the enemies didn't even feel like they needed to help them attack. The rest of the enemies were there, and then they just left, because they're like, those guys can handle that little squad they're dinking around with. And those enemies, that is the half that went around, engaged us in a force on force that looks like roughly the 2 to 3 ratio I was talking about earlier, maybe 2 to 1 though. And the primary attack direction was northeast. I remember you guys talking about that. I mentioned contact south, and it turns out, of course, it was just one asshole. No surprise there. And yeah, I don't know. I should have faced my gun northeast at least. That's all I could have done. The Bradley didn't exactly come to help, but it was already engaged, and it looks like the Bradley did a great job of killing BMPs over there in Hades Field.
Apparently the Bradleys kept getting crew killed.
That's a
It
surprise.
didn't matter if the It didn't matter if the armor was well slanted or thick. The BMPs could penetrate it and crew kill them.
Now they
Yeah, it does
were.
have shit armor.
Oh, they were the ODSs, so they were the old Bradleys. But that said, I don't know. The Bradleys have good armor compared to BMPs. I don't know if that's equivalent in real life. I think it is, anyways. But I know full well in RHS. RHS has Bradleys with stronger armor than any BMP. Hell, even the modern ones. The Bradleys are, I don't know, they feel like tanks sometimes. They do feel like tanks.
Weren't tanky enough, Whale.
I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if
the
AFI
only
made
reason
adjustments.
they did well there is because they're in an open field.
AFI has a whole lot of mods that adjust things to their liking, so if they made the Bradleys a touch weaker, maybe that's realistic for all I know.
Their position was much easier to hold, that flat open area.
To be fair, that one Bradley in the south side helping us out, they got attacked by 2 BMPs, multiple LIT. I see rockets coming in, penetrating them, and then they were on con for a while, and then they bled out. The BMP is both dismounted, though, so they did something right. And it looks like they got repairs, because, you know, Op4 won that fight, so they could get their BMPs back. Op4, I know, had 6 or 7 BMPs at Op End. I don't know how many they started with. Probably 8 in that case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Look at the start
8.
there, where we died. The glorious dragon team.
Yeah, so what did happen at the start there? I feel like we were bunched up in
In
the force
2
against
minutes,
mortars.
let's proceed to the waiting room table for the
What
global
happened
debrief.
is that apparently they didn't bring the sight module, so they couldn't use their dragon at all.
Well, that's troublesome. If they could have used their dragon, they could have taken out 1 or 2 BMPs. That would have been very helpful. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, they could have, but they didn't, so...
Looks like Severe presumed that there was a minefield on the northern edge, so he literally had his BMPs suppress the road. And it looks like the suppression and the mortars actually got most of the mines. I see them disappearing around 19 minutes in. Mines are gone. Those BMPs push across. They dismount an entire platoon of infantry to our northeast, and we're already overwhelmed here. How quickly did Bravo react? Yeah, quickly enough, but it was fucked at that point. Those surviving from Alpha 1 falling back. It was 4 against... When we did our engagement, like our actual engaged engagement at RP1, it was 4 against a squad. We were about doubled, but we did have some help on our flanks. And it looks like... they walked over us, but we took out 5 or 6. That was not so bad, Alpha 1. Oh yeah, and especially the other element that was on our flank helping out killed a lot more. We made a good distraction at the very least and killed a shit ton of them. But they nursed their wounds and they pushed through. And whoever presumed halfway through the operation that the enemies were pretty much unopposed in their initial plan of pushing through the forest, cutting west, and going along the western edge of the map to the final objective, that's pretty much what they did. Troublesome. I'm gonna set up the music before we end here. Forgot to hit the music.
Sorry, it was garbage set up. It's my first time back in a while.
Yeah, well, it was a learning experience for me, and we probably should have taken the initiative a lot more than I did, because platoon lead, or our platoon, didn't really give us a lot of information to work off of.
There's a lot of situations you were in where I really wouldn't have known what I would have done. Where we're outnumbered like that, it's just tough.
Yeah, well, that's what I have to learn to do, so...
Let's talk about that 3rd or 4th engagement when we respawned and then we walked into the forest near Y13 going to kinda T2. We were going to watch the Valley East. So we walked in.
We are now moving to global debrief at the waiting room.
I'm going to move up in a second, but if we could talk about this first. When we walked in, the people on point who walked right up to P. Jonathan. In fact, here's what happened. They had a point man ahead about 75 meters, and the point man, their P. Jonathan, heard somebody talking on yelling or normal. It could have even been me. I mean, I was on normal or yelling a lot as a habit. But if anyone especially was on yelling, definitely they noticed us. P. Jonathan came and shot
2 or 3 of us.
2 or 3 of us, yeah. He unconned Lenny, and I think he shot you, Lanky. the engagement
He
started.
shot me, but I got him. Like as soon as he came up and killed Lenny, he shot me a couple times, but I fucked him up good.
Okay, and then Vulcan shot me in the neck. Vulcan ripped my jugular out, so I was sitting there.
I thought the enemies were coming from your side.
They were coming from the southeast, but I did explicitly mention on TeamNet like, hey, let's if you're in the back, flank out left and right and surround the enemy a little bit instead of just pushing into the friendlies.
I noticed too late that it was you, but.
Levi unconned, camo. I threw some frags that did nothing. And then it looks like their Levi actually flanked further west on the right side than I thought, and he probably shot me. But we threw a really good frag. Have you guys made a habit out of going on Whisper when you guys are in an actual engagement yet? Because I know
we don't use
Whisper the entire time.
Yeah, I did mention it only one time. The actual keybind to do so being Control Tab. Somebody asked at Opstart.
Yo, Wire, you can probably check near the end of the op. I'm pretty sure I killed like at least 4 guys when the enemy was on the rock formation, just past the radio.
Oh my god, that was such a clusterfuck. We walked right into that, and I have no idea how they got. Well, okay, I know how they got up that far. They just walked up there, unopposed. But once they did, then we respawn. We can look at it right now if you want. There's like a 5-second delay, so give it a sec. Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to cover that huge intersection at CR13. They're going to expect something to come up there. And we did. And then firing line. Dead, dead, dead. They take 2 uncons, they take 1 death. Little trades. But I think they won that engagement.
Oh, look at me go. Go.
Oh, look at him go. Look at the little guy go. Lanky, you're trying to do some business.
For a long while.
Huh?
You're doing some business there, Lanky.
Fighting a BMP.
If you want me to check for you, you can always, when you guys, if you ever do get this software, you can filter by your name. For example, at 157.03, you were hit in the spine by Lucius. That's near op end. And then you were killed by a BMP. No shock there. God, those fucking BMPs.
Yeah, they destroyed us in that push.
Did I kill anybody? Buy whale is what I'm looking for. Hey, I threw some frags that killed people.
Nice. I just wish I could have done more, that's all.
You can't really bench much as a single soldier.
I killed 3 people at op.
We were just outdone strategically.
And they were all in the first engagement we got, and that's the only time I killed anybody.
Yep.
Rest was probably just wounding.
I think I killed.
Who else wants to see their kills before I go up to that all brief? Last chance.
Me.
Okay, I'll just go down. I'll just go down the line. Lanky, you killed 3 guys.
Cool.
Camo, you killed 0 people.
Oh. No.
Lol.
Curry, you killed -1 people. The only person you killed, Curry, was team killing Camo.
How? How? I was near him healing
Lenny,
him.
you killed 5 people.
Let's fucking go.
Proto, I don't think you killed anybody.
Good.
You did heal people, and also I think you hit Camo in the back of the neck.
Sorry. I think that was initially because my weapon was dumb.
And Vulcan, you killed 1 person in that force engagement where we had that guy walk right up to us. There's a lot more wounding. Remember, you guys wounded probably like twice as many people as that, but here's the people that just bled to death because of you.
Yeah, but wounding doesn't really matter.
It depends. I usually get wounded, I go down. It could be like mixed, like, you know, you get an assist because somebody else actually downs them.
I guess. How many did you get?
3.
Oh.
Nice.
How do you even see those?
Well, you need to crack open that AR software, and then you need to filter by whale. Just type in by and then your name, because that's how the nomenclature works.
But then I died here. Oh man, what was that radar station like?
No idea. Alright, I'm gonna go on the FP Arma Discord now. TeamSpeak now, I think they have another op going.
I'm too tired to do this shit anymore.
I'm gonna help.
I'm gonna move up, I gotta go to the all brief, but thank you guys for this. This was pretty fun, even though it was a little bit of a stop. See you next time if you come back.
Yeah.
Ciao.
The stomp is always fine.
See you well.
You learn more through a loss.
More time for troop to complete the fire call in the time needed to appropriately move forward with that type of attack. But no harm, no foul. Some of you did die, but we succeeded. The breach through phase 1 went as planned, but significant enemy resistance to the south of the radar station prevented the cohesive movement of the company in a mounted assault. Instead, I opted to move my infantry on foot and went ahead and immediately disbanded the Bronne group and returned the BMPs to the platoon. With the vehicles acting as localized supports, we were able to take our points Yankee 1, Yankee 2, which were south of the radar station, and the infantry went past it to the radar station itself to engage the enemy in close fighting there. The Su-25 functioned as intended. Today what we did was we gave the Su-25 pre-designated kill boxes, and instead of attempting to pinpoint area target Bradleys, as is usually done, we said, in this box there is a Bradley, find it, destroy it. And that worked quite well. The initial attack into the radar station was quite bloody, as I understand it. I'm sure Alpha and Bravo will have more to say about that, so I won't go into great detail in that regard. But the movement into Neuenheim, as you know, a young, passionate Soviet officer, I was naturally moving ahead of my own troops and was fatally wounded by friendly fire as I entered the town. Thankfully, the medics kept me alive long enough for me to see the Soviet flag rise above the town hall. But other than that, it was a new type of intensity. Every unit operating on the same frequency was sometimes hectic, but it does provide a much better information environment, and at no time did I feel like I personally had no idea what was going on. I feel like the company understood relatively well the disposition of the enemy, the quantity of equipment that has been destroyed, and the furthest point of advance. And it came together quite nicely. I'll post the up for combat plan in the channel here. Do any of the Blue 4 platoon leads wish to speak?
I'll go ahead and speak. I was Blue 4 lead for Platoon Alpha. So initially at that forest, that was completely on me. I should have made sure that my squads were a bit more spread out than they were, and honestly, your push up through the northern side, the northeast side of that forest was really fucking good. You encircled us hard. That was really nice. I will say that from there, during that time, there was a lot of hecticness going on. Some of my squads got lost. Again, my fault probably. We did our best holding that area, but we had to fall back because that push was really fucking good. I did report as much as I could about the information, including rough positions, how you've overwhelmed us multiple times on our overall company net, but from what I can tell, nothing was really done about that. There was no encircling, nothing. Otherwise, my next part was pulling back to our phase 2 positions near the radar station, which we actually did really well. We got back up, we were strong, we did our best holding that area, and we actually delayed the advance a hell of a lot. Honestly, I'm really surprised, and I'm very proud at how well we did. Otherwise, following that, the end portion where after we all got wiped out, we respawned, and we went down in an attempt to hopefully retake the station, but enemy forces around T7 pretty much destroyed any hope of that, and completely threw it over the one squad I had going there, because one of my other squads completely disappeared. I had no clue where they were. They weren't on net. And I could not reach a single one of them. Neither in English nor in Swedish. So there was pretty much effectively only one squad attempting to attack the radar station to hopefully split the front from Nunenheim over to the radar station. No whale. I mean Arma Sweden. So yeah, outside of that, we took a final attempt to go into MSR Emma and attempting to push down into Nunenheim. Yeah, sorry, I was talking about Arma Sweden this time, not Anrop.
Yeah, Arma Sweden was on blue front.
Yeah. Yeah. Outside of that, at the end, I was also the acting commander for forces, while we were slowly dwindling, and eventually led to our loss. All in all, we did our best. Our Phase 2 hold was really nice. Could have been a bit better. Phase 1 was, as Joel put, a fucking clusterfuck. And a lot of that is definitely on me. I could have made sure my squads were a bit more spread out through that forest, but that forest also has some really bad spots, especially around CR3, around that AT kill zone on ASR Frida, if you see it. That area is really hard to defend. It's very thin, there's no elevation, and you can see straight into the forest with BMPs and infantry. Other than that, I'd say we did our best as well as we could. And Svir, you did fucking great. That was an amazing push, and your plan came together really, really well. I enjoyed that. This was a good time. I had fun. Bit surprising having to take company command, but hey, that happened.
Quick question. You were talking about the counterattack. Is this around 1 minute 35? Oh, sorry, 1 hour 35.
Right about, give or take?
Yeah, like in that wood line to the west of MSR Emma.
Around like T7 and the wood line? Yeah, right around there.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, that was our attempt at a counterattack. Arma Sweden just disappeared, apparently. I don't know where they went. I never got them on net again.
They were in the
I believe there was also a secondary counterattack further in.
Yeah, because there were 2 squads down there, because I was the forces defending that. We had 2 squads there. One came from directly from the town. Yeah, one came directly from the town, and the other one was led by Lurch, and he was all the way down by the T2 marker.
Yeah, nice. I will say, I really enjoyed how you pushed up your BMPs, or this is the Sphere, and anybody else who did that.
Sorry for breaking up.
Yeah.
Do we continue the debrief, or is that part of the debrief?
We're gonna continue with the
continue the debrief.
Was there?
Sorry for breaking.
It's okay. Was there anybody else from Blue 4 who is in a platoon lead position who would like to speak?
Yeah, I can give my thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, in the first phase, we were overrun by the numerous BMP2s that came to the road junction. That was the first time we even knew that the enemy was so close, so we didn't have time to react. And the Bravo 3 that was maneuvered behind the Alphas was overrun by the enemy infantry, so our Bradleys was all of the 3 was destroyed in the first phase. And in the third phase, so our yellow markers, we managed to hold the enemy quite well back. But it seemed that the enemy just picked us apart one by one. First the Bravo 3's vehicle, and then my vehicle Bravo 1's in the radar station, south side of the radar station in the field, and last the Bravo 2's vehicle. So the first phase was a complete catastrophe. Second phase was pretty good, and that went how I expected it going, so they could pick us apart one by one. And after that we were acting as infantry platoon in town and making counterattack to the Tango 2 area. And yeah, nothing special to add.
Okay. Alpha Platoon from Up4, do you want to speak?
Well, I think it went quite well. It was chaos in the Kilonet and Platoonet. It was a bone group. But all of the time I didn't have any clue what is going on, but somehow we did everything well.
It's I feel like the arrangement of the communications was good for advance like this, but it's definitely something that needs to be developed further if platoon leads feel like they're lost in the sauce, so to say.
Yeah. It was sometimes hard to command my squads also in Platoonet when there is also my 15 commanding the tanks. So
yeah.
There's like 2 commanders and 2 platoons.
But it was different, was it not very different?
Yeah, it was fun.
Does Bravo Platoon want to say a word?
Yeah, I can say a few words. I was a bit skeptical to the Brony group concept, I have to admit, at the beginning, but I think it worked out pretty good. I had my RTO monitoring the Kilonet. I just pieced out of that net, and I stayed on the platoon net to lead my platoon from there. So I suspected it was going to be quite busy, and I can't say how busy because I never listened to it anyway. So, but we kept a high tempo throughout the assault, and I think it paid off. My squad leaders took initiatives, and I made sure to support them as best I could, with focus being on maintaining momentum.
Yeah, there was a lot of momentum in the attack, and once it started, it was hard to stop because there was a lot of steel behind it.
Yeah.
I feel like what happened is, well, I'll talk about my situational awareness a little bit. So once we made the penetration at phase 1, I understood that the enemy had retreated. I did not understand that the enemy had been destroyed. I had no idea that we had caused such significant casualties to the enemy, so therefore my movements were still cautious. It took us 10 minutes or something to actually give the next attack order, because I was expecting to have more Bradleys appear at the flank. I understood that 2 enemy vehicles had been knocked out because I saw one in front of me and then another one to my southwest, but it took us that long to move, so they could have had more Bradleys by the time we get mounted and move, so I figured it was better to move on foot. So that slowed down our attack a little bit. We could have been at the radar station before the enemy managed to put together a solid defense if we had not made that mistake.
Say again, what slowed you?
My decision.
I ended up dying 4 times, and 2 of those were from friendly fire, so say what you say, but I think it went great. Romeo somehow stood up against very, very superior numbers at certain times around that counterattack that Skytech mentioned before. I have no idea how we managed to both stop that squad and then go knock out the Bradley in the south, but it was extremely hectic at times. And I feel like at some parts our biggest challenge wasn't fighting the enemy, it was Landonav. I remember I had one of my squad leaders get lost multiple times, so overall, amazing event, but I feel like I personally could have done better.
Okay. Does Tango want to say a word or two before we move on to open floor? Okay, Tango is not here, I think. So, well, he is, but he's not saying anything. So we'll go ahead and move on to open floor. If you've got anything to say, up for or blue for, you can go ahead.
Can I ask if any of the crew members of the BMP that got a direct hit from a tow on the road, open road?
Yeah, that was the Kilo vehicle.
Okay, did it do any damage?
Yeah, it destroyed it completely.
Okay, because I couldn't see in spectator, I couldn't see the destroyed. So it's good to know that I killed you.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah,
we had a nice flyby by the missile and went like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And then
we were standing on the side of the road, Elias, and we heard a noise coming down the road, and we assumed it was a vehicle. No, it was a tow missile.
My hands were shaking that if Audun was here, he could look at it also, because he was a vehicle commander and he could look through the gunner sight. My hands, the DPI is around almost 3000, so my hands were shaking so much controlling the tow to hit you out, what was it, a kilometer or two away?
Yeah, almost
vehicle.
2, I think, or more.
Yeah, and it was really shaking, so the tow was shaking around.
It was a good shot.
But that was the only good shot with the Bradley I had. All the other times we were surrounded by enemies or rammed.
Yeah, that's one of the way, or well, not the ramming obviously, but one of the ways we needed, or that we could really affect your ability to fight us, was to keep a high tempo. So
yeah, and as you
closing the distances fast were chief concern.
So Raimo was the game maker, I think, with his SU attacks.
Yeah, the SU-25 turned out to be
a little bit overpowered.
Very effective at destroying Bradleys. In the game, I looked at some of the destroyed Bradleys, and they all seemed to be destroyed in positions where, or destroyed in movement, so to say. So, movement reveals your position, I guess, is the thing to walk away from this with, because the missiles themselves are laser guided by the pilot, so he has to basically tell the missile what to shoot at, and then the missile goes, and he has to keep his nose pointed at the target, otherwise it won't hit.
Does anyone on the Blue Force side have any comments concerning the logistics sector of the Blue Force side?
Actually, Blue 4 logistics was pretty fucking solid, honestly. That was nice, I liked it. Good job.
The only issue is that we were missing a lot of AT during respawn, so when we respawn, nobody has AT carrying, and there was no AT boxes around.
Yeah, the AT problem was that we only had, during the whole missions, only 5 boxes of them. And it got only worse when our main base got destroyed by an Arma glitch.
What happened with that?
After one of my pickups, one of the trucks suddenly made a 90-degree turn to the left, and that created a chain reaction that destroyed all of our vehicles there. So, a typical Arma event.
It just turned 90 degrees for no reason?
Correct.
That doesn't sound right.
You can look at the AR.
Yeah, I'm looking at the AR. I see it happening. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? That's really weird.
At what time happened?
To link with video.
Those vehicles that got destroyed were pretty much full on AT
AR
weapons.
timestamp 1 hour 16.
So that created a logistical nightmare where we didn't have any AT weapons except those that were already deployed on the supply drop-off points.
Sorry, was a discussion about turrets turning 90 degrees?
No, it was a truck turning 90 degrees in place while nobody was in it, and it destroyed some other vehicles because it was next to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, not much you can do about that one.
Rex, if that kind of thing happens in the future in one of our games, then contact the admin, because that.
Well,
I mean,
we weren't actually sure what caused it. During the mission, we talked Asu had made a mistake with its targeting, but after the AR, it was clear that it was a typical Arma event.
I mean, but still, it's obviously not intended that you're without AT weapons, like, fully, so...
Even if Raimo parachutes personally into your spawn and crashes all of your vehicles into trees, you still contact the admin. But yeah, that's not supposed to happen, and I feel like that probably contributed to the reason that our BMPs were able to operate so effectively.
Yeah, but when that happened, all of the AT weapons were being delivered or had been delivered, so we only lost those that were in the vehicle inventories.
Yeah.
But still true.
Yeah, talking about the major issues with counterattacks from the defender at the respawn waves when we were pushed back to the base. Since nobody was respawning with AT capability, we were just being... It was a turkey shoot. It was a turkey shoot. Straight... no other way around to say it.
Yeah, it was the initial breakthrough was achieved. It was difficult for Blue 4 to attempt to stop us. That's just what happened. Any other communities here who want to say a word?
Just from Op 4 Bravo 1, there was some question earlier on why some infantry regiments just stopped when there wasn't any resistance and at around phase 2. For Bravo 1, it was simply that we get such a high momentum that we'd gotten people lost on the way. We'd left people behind, and we'd run out of ammunition and stuff like that, so we just had to stop to regroup now again. So that could have been part of the reason our tempo was so high that we were just slowly losing people to the point where we were not becoming an effective squad. They weren't dead, they were just a few hundred meters behind us. Yeah, I just wanted to answer one of the possible reasons why the infantry was stopping a bit now and again.
Yeah, had fun. This was a good time.
Alright, Up 4 Kilo is gonna jump out for now, but you guys can go ahead and continue the conversation.
See ya.
I've got one more point from Bravo RTO. Just try to stick to the comms decided before the launch of the mission. So when you call Bravo 10, you actually say Bravo 10 and not just Bravo, because no one knows if you mean the BMPs or the actual infantry. That's it.
So, was the Bradley HE cannon fire effective? Did it get anybody? Was it effective to cause fear and pee your pants?
Oh, that was effective.
Yeah, it messed with Bravo 1 a few times when we were trying to cover some open fields. It just completely halted our movement in that entire sector.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky that we backed off from the road just moments before the SU made an attack run on those positions.
You fired too little.
It's not super deadly, but because it's just 25 millimeters, right? So it's not like lethal unless it hits near you, but it's very, very suppressive.
Confusion.
Yeah, it's very, very effective for suppression and causing people
and
to
just area denial.
Cover.
Yeah, we didn't lose too many guys. We got a lot of wounded, which ate up all our medical supplies, but it didn't kill too many people. It was just very good for area denial.
You need to fire more and add more depth to the fire, because when you see one guy, there's more behind him usually. You need to fire deeper into the foliage.
The situation for me, for example, was when I was in Tango 2 on the main road there, behind the building. I could only see the enemy 2 kilometers away, and they went back to the forest. So I couldn't shoot them straight because there was almost 500 meters deep forest there between us. But it was uphill, so I just shot at the woods above them to cause the damage to them. And then I shot at the road so they wouldn't cross over. So, but it worked.
And oftentimes it was just one vehicle firing from one direction. It's much more effective if you can mass fires from many directions.
There were no coordination between the Bravo platoons, Bradleys. All the Bradleys were directly under command of the squad leaders, and they were squad support vehicles in a sense, and we were spread out through the whole attack line.
Yeah, I can see. In 1 hour, 20 minutes, it's a complete failure to build any sort of defensive position. Clearly, you have ideas where we are coming from, but you Your vehicles and infantry get picked off piecemeal.
1 hour 20 what?
1 hour 20 minutes. No, 1 hour. Straight 1 hour.
Blue 4 Platoon 1 was particularly widely spaced after... Blue 4 Platoon 1 was particularly widely spaced after already establishing the direction the enemy was coming from. I don't know if intel was poor, if communication didn't work out. I know Platoon 1 lead in particular had just mentioned a while ago that one of his squads was completely off net at that point, which is trouble. However, a lot of us knew that the entire Op 4 attack was coming from that bearing, and as a team lead in Alpha 1 that was never communicated to me. I don't know if my squad lead was made aware of it as Lanky, but either way, I don't think our tactics changed to respond to it, and we stayed relatively spread. If an ambush was planned, if we had hoped to fix the enemy and then move in from the sides, those that were flanking gave away their position quite early by engaging the enemy, and then got picked off on their own. Pretty much right away.
Yeah, you can...
What time are you... Sorry, what time are you
We're talking about 1 hour and about 4 minutes.
The area of 1 hour and forward went up for attacks through the south in one single mass. Each of the defending vehicles is firing intermittently at them, but never as a one coherent.
You have to understand that at that point, the Blue 4 vehicles are losing engines. They are unable to move, so they have to fire where they are standing.
Are you talking about that Nurmi vehicle there?
Nurmi and Lurch and the one vehicle, where was it?
Boomer, you need to copy the link from current time.
If you guys don't have the AR software, I'm still streaming right now. It's whale_stream.
From this point forward, you had... there were... At this moment, there is still possibility to make a solid defense in the south.
I was the squad lead of the Blue 4 squad that was down by our mark R6, that little building right on the edge of the map. I'm not sure if we had communication. I mean, we communicated that we thought there was a platoon-sized element moving to Olga, or trying to flank down along the side of the map. But I basically only reported that stuff. I don't know if there's... I assumed that maybe Bradleys were being moved in position. I did not know the disposition of the Bradleys at that time. But my goal as a squad leader was to try to slow down the enemy from advancing. We did not have a plan to flank at all, which is why we started engaging enemies that were crossing that little road to the northwest of us, or excuse me, northeast of us, and then we just got run up on by like at least two squads of infantry and killed in close combat.
So
yeah,
on
that
contact
was the
start,
piecemeal factor I was talking about.
At 1 hour, 2 minutes, the situation we have is 2 squads in a position to engage, 1 squad and 1 Bradley, not so much,
Here
against
you can
Op
see
4.
what I mean. The key for a successful defense was there, but I don't know what prohibited it. Most likely the fact that there was no infantry in front maintaining contact with the assaulting enemy.
What would you have recommended, Boom Areas? You would have recommended infantry have constant contact with the enemy as they pull back and engage?
Of course, always. That's the key to success.
Is there a particular element you would have pointed out as doing that between Alpha 1 in the middle, Alpha 3, who I believe was down south, and Alpha 2, who's stationed north in those fields? With Alpha 1-0 also being with Alpha 3, that's Skytech CEO, Alpha Platoon Lead.
Okay, we can...
Platoon Lead was not with Alpha 3.
No,
I got them mixed up then. It doesn't particularly matter though, I'm just curious. Once we were in positions that we were around 1 hour, what would have changed once we knew where the enemy was, which is, I assume, when the Southern Alpha put out their probe, spotted the platoon, and communicated that to Alpha. How should we have reacted, most ideally?
Well, there's a... If I talk about this moment only, that leaves a big portion of the battle untalked about, but First of all, the front section that's in the south, we, Baz and Gooper and those guys, they need to send a fire team out. Crowwell is the front, and if they die there, that's fine. At least the squad leader knows where the enemy infantry front is. And if they don't die and they are able to maintain contact, that's excellent, because that will delay the infantry advance there and the vehicle advance. And that would give time to coordinate all of those fires coming from the north, because those lines I drew on the picture, those were used individually. We only had to contend with one vehicle firing, one squad firing on our advance. Never did we have a complete platoon firing on us.
Boomeri, the reality is what you see on AAR, on how the terrain is and how it really is, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, most of our sight lines were like 100 meters.
Yeah, you really literally couldn't see anything until the enemy was just in front of you. Even the lines you draw there, it would have been impossible to actually conduct that.
It wasn't impossible, because all of those lines were used to fire on us, because I was assaulting with the infantry, and individual times I pointed out to our team that, okay, there's a Bradley at Juliet 9 firing on us. And then I pointed out that, okay, there's a Bradley at Hades Field firing on us. And then I pointed out that there's a Bradley at Medusa Wood firing at us. But all of these came 10 minutes apart. Never did they come, like, okay, there's a platoon of Bradleys firing on us. Never did that happen.
No,
that's
but
the
Boomer, the reality is that there was no time or opportunity for us to conduct a volley fire with the Bradley platoon, because the sight lines that we had in those positions, for example, Lurch on the north, I can imagine he only had a couple of meters of actual visual down the sight there. And for me, what you were pointing out, I couldn't see anything. That was uphill for me, and there was forest and rocks between that.
Go ahead, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, and as for Nurmi vehicle, as far as I knew, he could only during that crossroads there engage, basically, and everything that came up there, because even though it was downhill, it was uphill a little bit just down the road, so that you couldn't engage anything or see anybody.
So for reference, really quickly, the reason OP4 Company Command chose this specific area to attack through is because it puts the Bradleys in a very awkward position if they want to try and defend against an infantry attack or even a mounted infantry attack. If you look at the AAR, there is a marker that says Koi Brona Group Phase 2 with a little arrow facing north. And in the initial plan, the idea was that we would move there, we would dismount, and then the Brona Group would face north, with the intention to stop any attempt by any Bradley moving from Hades Field to the south to try and get sightlines. The other problem with the Bradley is that it is a very tall vehicle, and the BMP is very stout. So when it sits downhill and the Bradley sits uphill, the BMP shoots first. That was kind of the idea as to why we picked that route of attack. What Boomberry means, though, is that when you're fighting as infantry, the number one thing to getting information that can secure you an advantage is maintaining contact with the enemy. If you don't see them, you have to see them. If you're shooting at them, that's information that you can produce and give forward.
Yeah, if I could speak about that, I was with Alpha 3 down in the south. The image that you posted at that time, we didn't know that they were within that wood line. It was only until a second portion of that platoon had started to flank west and had just crossed the clearing next to H11 is right when we saw them. And the moment we started putting shots down after it had been relayed back, they had one of their BRDMs come and chase us right up towards R6. So we would have just been a run over had we tried to keep contact with the BRDM the entire time.
We saw about, as Alpha 3, when we were at the Hotel 13 mark, we could see that there were enemy contact ahead of us, but it was like a keyhole site, and we couldn't too far away to really have accurate fire with our machine gun and our rifles. Because that building at Hotel 13 was just like a really shitty little building, we elected not to defend it and tried to fall back to a better position while trying to keep eyes on the enemy as they moved. We were reporting the BMPs moving into the company bro group phase 2 area, and then the team that stopped and that engaged the enemy there, they were the ones that they basically got stuck there and had to continue to engage the enemy, and then tried to fall back as they did so, but we kind of got cut off at the Yankee 7 mark.
How much anti-tank did you have at that point, Trench?
We had absolutely no anti-tank, which is why when we saw the BMPs,
Alpha 1.
you can see like the BMPs roll into the field, we spot them, and that like as soon as they stop, we're like, oh shit, we need to get the fuck out of here because we can't fight 2 BMPs. I mean, we couldn't fight anything that was down there because it was like a whole company versus 9 guys.
Unless another Alpha element had anti-tank, I think our only way to deal with the BMPs in the entire 2-click area around it would be the Bradley that was immobilized north. It couldn't really move to react or help. And I think the jet immobilized
We didn't have a lot of situational awareness. I had no idea the disposition of Bravo for the entire operation.
Well, they were usually in a different area of operation until they would come to help, and they're coming to help since they're motorized versus enemy mechanized. I don't know, the enemies were on foot, but Bravo couldn't be too quick to come to help, and by the time they usually did, it's a company against a platoon. We'd usually buckle by the time Bravo could show up to assist.
Yeah, case in point, in the beginning, enemy attack. Once we got the information that the enemy was pushing through the minefield, when we moved up, the enemy was already at the positions where we would have taken up positions to counterattack. And in regards to that, what Boomeri was talking and what Swer was saying, that Swer, you chose pretty well the route of attack, because from what I understood from our Bravo net, platoon net, was that we were not able to see the enemy, and it was really awkward for us to operate without endangering the vehicles.
At Upstart, Alpha really did not make an effort to keep an eye on our minefield whatsoever, and our coverage northeast was minimal. We were mostly bunched up real close, 2 squads together, west of Op4's company bro group phase 1, somewhere near the Dragon 2 mark. I guess Point Coco for Blue 4. And while we were there, there's some very accurate artillery barrages that came in, and I believe they caused chaos more than casualties. One of the Alpha elements opted to stay behind. Another Alpha element, which was beheaded, mine, that's Alpha 1, we fell back. And the enemy was pushing so hard and so fast at that point, completely unopposed by friendlies, that we were just parallel to them. We were just moving parallel along with them, and we knew that, so eventually we turned to engage with what little we had, because there was no escape at that point. We killed a few guys, and that was about it.
The whole defense was a cascading failure because of the initial setup that had not enough depth and not enough AT defenses. So it was, you were fucked from the start because you didn't have enough infantry AT, and also because your setup was too shallow. It was very, very shallow.
Alpha 1's Dragon team, which we sent out into the crop of buildings far east. Let's see how far they got. They set up halfway, which is just fine. However, they mentioned that they didn't have an optic package and couldn't use their Dragon at all, and then I assume they died shortly after that. So their Dragon was ineffectual. After that, we didn't keep an eye on the minefield, and I know full well the orders delivered to Platoon 1 were to be able to fall back through Inferno Wood in various lines, and as they fall back, continue engaging infantry, hoping that the BMPs would have to be abandoned or be ineffectual in the forest. However, it looks like BMPs... That was correct, the BMPs did have to hang back before the forest, they weren't going to venture into there, but the amount of infantry dismounted was absolutely overwhelming, and the accurate artillery didn't help either. Op4 did really have everything for this operation that they could have possibly wanted.
If you want to have a fighting retreat, you can't put everything up front. You have to have defenses layered. You have to have one fire team up front, maximum. And then behind that 150 meters, 200 meters, you have to have the next fire team. Because they need to be already there. They can't run there under fire. They need to be there, ready to support the retreat of the fire team in front, and they need to. The first fire team needs to have a position looked already behind the second fire team. Otherwise, it turns into this mush. You have guys running perpendicular, like you said, alongside.
Yeah, you need to have people to cover your retreat and set up position in the behind to cover your retreat, and so on.
Yeah, because if you're in a rush, you don't find a good position, and then you're just fucked.
That's kind of what the upper infantry advance was really, just mass, power, and speed. And that's what, once it made it into that forest, it was going to continue with the momentum all the way down to their objective, regardless of what was really in front of them. Because, that's 60 guys, side to side.
60 guys versus like 30 guys. Even if we had split our fire teams up, I mean, the first wave, I don't know how they would have been able to get out of there, because it's, even if everyone in the platoon is firing on Blue 4, they're still fighting 2 platoons of infantry. It would have delayed the inevitable. Maybe we would have died further into the forest, but I don't know how we would have been able to maintain a retreat at that point.
Well, that adding depth leads to, if attacker assaults only using one lane, that eventually leads to a situation where defenders have boxed in the defenders so they can put in enfilading fire. If the attacker doesn't push along the side of the whole front, that leads eventually to the fact that if there would have been a fire team at Hotel 4, that would have delayed the attackers immensely at Golf 2, because they could have put on enfilading fire there.
Is this Hotel 4 on the east markers?
Yeah, on 4 side. It's marked as Gehenna Field, so very west of the map near phase 1.
And if you have just, a solid line and no depth, you don't have that natural enfilading fire position coming up.
A counterpoint to that is we had a wide front to cover, and we didn't know which side you were going to push, and when you did, it came all at once, and we didn't, between the artillery suppression and just the way the trees were, we didn't see anyone approaching until they were basically on top of us.
That's why you don't put every egg in one basket, because if the basket falls, you're fucked, and in this event the basket fell and you got fucked. And after the initial, when you had lost so many troops in the initial contact, you lost contact with the attackers, and the attackers had all the initiative in the world, and you couldn't get the second line up at the previous point we talked about, and the picture I posted. And then it just cascaded. It's a cascading failure all the way to
the point Boomer is making, though, is that it's not like any individual player's fault that this happened. This is just something that Arma players do a lot.
I don't know, I didn't shoot very straight today.
Well, I mean, personal accuracy and iron sight settings aside, assuming you overshoot or undershoot or whatever, that's a single rifleman. There's a saying here in Finland that comes from quite a famous story that one man's contribution to a war does not really matter. It's the collective that gets things done. And in this case, the Arma players tend to have this thing where they see an AO and they spread all along the length of that AO. They don't really, sometimes they don't consider, from the platoon lead level, like how this affects concentration. There is a maxim, a military maxim. You march separated and you attack concentrated, or you fight concentrated. And if you don't do the last bit, what happens is you very quickly lose cohesion, and then everything falls apart. That could have been turned on its head had, let's say, the Op4 attack taking place in the west, and we would have run into that minefield and the Bradleys and everything that was there, the situation could have been even worse. But realistically speaking, we were never going to attack across an open field into Bradleys. We specifically chose the east side to attack because we assumed that that would mean that we are fighting infantry, and nothing but infantry.
That's also why so much of the artillery was focused on that first forest, because we saw hardly any more use of it than to either prohibit Blue 4 from counterattacking or essentially destroying what infantry was there. Now positions were taking up far nearer the edge of the forest than I had expected, so sadly we had a bit less effect on the target than I had hoped to have, because seriously, don't be in the edge of a forest if you fight autocannons. But overall it seemed to have had a huge effect on the overall ability to pull back from the area.
Well, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for this wonderful and scintillating AAR. I hope some of us learned a lot. I know I hopefully did. I'll see if I absorb it another time. Hope you guys have a great day.
I believe...
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I believe the planning...
Okay. So that was today's Redline 6 with Arma Finland. Very wonderful event indeed. We were overwhelmed by overwhelming force. Russians really did have a lot of assets in their pocket, from artillery to BMPs to a fast mover. And they used it to full efficacy. They did not sandbag whatsoever, aside from a few little halts and hesitations. Those were the only opportunities we had to kill them, and we did not take those opportunities. Our initial defense, maybe a little wishy-washy, but I feel that Op4 won this one mostly because of their superior assets, and secondarily because of tactical mistakes on our side. All that being said, I'm going to kick you guys over to a friend of mine, Mike, who's currently playing not in the CCO, but in the CCO post-event, because I believe the CCO, I don't know, it went south or something. I don't know for sure. But they're playing like a Zeus battle space event, large scale. I highly encourage you to check it out. Mike is a great guy. He is, I think, 6 shots in. Don't quote me on that, though. And Pi, yes, while I'm taking my break for 45 minutes, we will be back at the turn of the hour with Katie XX, maybe 15 minutes past. I'm gonna go walk my dog and my cat because they're literally swarming me right now. Yeah, you're staring at me? Wanna go for a walk? Then get out. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna check that out the video while I'm taking my break. I'll be back, and you guys can go check out Mike. That is Mike DZ, so for those on YouTube, here's the link. For everybody else, you'll be taken along automatically. And if you guys want to pop back in about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, I'll be playing Arma, that is SOG, the Vietnam DLC, Mike Force game mode, with the Caden XX, Remy, and the boys. See you then. Ciao for now.